If you're a fan of the Tennessee Titans, the Install Live Show with Greg Cosell of NFL Films coming up Saturday, May the 20th at the Hutton Hotel. Get your tickets right now at 1045thezone.com to hear the best breakdown of Will Levis
Really excited and thankful for the opportunity.
and the rest of the Titans draft class.
6:01. Good morning. I'm Jonathan Schaefer from the Superbook.com sports desk. While the full NFL schedule will be released tonight, as the big voice guy just said, we'll have pre-scheduled show coverage, I should say, with Rhett Bryan and Joe Hunk at 6 o'clock, then Westwood One coverage beginning at 7. We do know that the Titans will face the Baltimore Ravens in London at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium coming up Sunday, October 15th. That'll be a Week 6 game, local game time, 8:30 in the morning. October 1st, Week 4, Falcons at Jags at Wembley in England. October 8th, Week 5, Jags versus Buffalo at Tottenham Hotspur. November 5th, Week 9, Dolphins versus Chiefs at Frankfurt Stadium in Germany. And then the next week, also at the same stadium, it is Colts versus Patriots. Bengals Chiefs, New Year's Eve. Black Friday game will be Dolphins Jets. Giants Eagles on a Christmas Day. To the NBA, Warriors 121, Lakers 106 to force a Game 6. Knicks 112, Heat 103. Jalen Brunson, 38 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists. They also force a Game 6 in that series. Maple Leafs 2, Panthers 1. Toronto avoids a sweep against the team Ramon Foster still doesn't think is real. Oilers 4, Golden Knights 1. Series tied at 2 games apiece. Major League Baseball, Red Sox 5, Braves 2. Atlanta had its 3-game winning streak snapped. And Nashville SC defeated FC Dallas 2-0. The boys in gold advanced to the round of 16 in the U.S. Open Cup. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
It is a beautiful Thursday morning in Nashville, Tennessee, and it's a beautiful day to learn when and where the Tennessee Titans will play in 2023. Woo! Happy NFL schedule release day with Ramon Foster, Kayla Anderson, and Jonathan Schaefer behind the glass.
The best producer in the world!
My name is Will Bowling. We are powered by our friends at All Four Seasons Garage Doors. Today is Thursday, May the 11th. It's schedule release day, or maybe we should say it's record prediction eve. Right here on 104.5 The Zone. Good morning, everyone. How are we?
We're fine. Good morning. Well, I told you earlier, I was like, man, I got an ample amount of sleep last night, so I'll take it. So, good day. I might go ratchet today.
I don't know if that's good or bad for us.
Then that's the response I was looking for.
Guess we're about to find out.
Kayla, how are you?
Doing good. Just
making it?
Waking up. Yep.
With you?
Yep.
Jonathan Schaefer, good morning.
What's happening? Ready to go. Thursday NFL football schedule. Woo! Do this.
I hate that he got
Matched
sound
that
effects
pitch pretty well.
to help him with his reaction to stuff.
We're back.
That's fair. That's solid.
The amount of things that we use to convince ourselves that football is back is one of the things that I love the most about us and about this country. Because today we've convinced ourselves that a schedule coming out is an event.
It is.
And I love it. It's not a complaint.
I'm watching it yesterday I'm listening to us. I'm listening to, ESPN when I get to the crib. Just the networks, all of them is just painting this up. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. And Shafe, I feel like it's appropriate if we walk down this lane that tells us what everybody's thinking about today.
If you haven't driven off the road by now, you probably just did.
No, I would have gone from off the road back on it. I would have sped up.
Oh, no. I would have crashed.
That makes me so happy.
Sure.
And you know what? We've got to follow that up.
Breaking sports news on 104.5 The Zone.
We have the first game of the 2023 NFL season. courtesy of Jordan Schultz this morning. The Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs will play Dan Campbell's Detroit Lions
Okay.
to open the 2023 NFL season on Thursday night, September the 7th.
That's early.
All right,
September.
Detroit.
There you go.
Man, our corporate boss, Charlie Cook's going to be liking that.
Mm-hmm. We'll get his first loss of the year out the way.
Glad he's in Austin and didn't hear that.
And my first thought is it is Trey Smith versus Hendon Hooker and Cam Sutton in week 1.
Yeah.
And Jerome Carvin.
And Jerome Carvin.
If he's on the team at
he
that
going
point.
to make
That's
that roster.
the most
Absolutely.
orange-tinted glasses
I put
responsible.
We're in Tennessee. We got to tell people what they need to hear.
I put a C note down on that. I say Jerome make that roster.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
A C note.
$100 bill.
That's $100.
Thank you. I don't have many of those.
I know we went old on you for a
Saw
second.
you.
but
Well,
okay.
yeah, I know we went old with the old young guy, and he couldn't get it. What the heck, man?
So there you go. Lions and Chiefs to begin the 2023 NFL season. I like it.
I like that too. I like
Chiefs
that
part
too.
you knew was going to happen,
They have to open up the season.
right?
I want to see what the curse is going to be. What is it? The last Super Bowl champion lose the opening weekend, or they have a bad season the year after winning the Super Bowl? That's the conversation usually.
It's one of the two teams in the Super Bowl has been really bad the next year
Yeah.
for a little while now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of just more excited to see the Lions and just how they progress off of last year because of what you saw out of that team and the way that they've kind of built their team, even though their draft got mixed reviews. I think it's interesting to see, like, taking on the Chiefs in that first game of the season. All eyes are on you, Dan Campbell. Like, can your team continue to feed off of what they did last year? Because I think people are now kind of betting on them being a team that can make it to the playoffs this year.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Y'all know we've been talking about them for a while. I feel like we're the cousins of the Detroit Lions down here, especially now that Hendon's there too. But besides that, they were building before he got there, and I'm with you. I want to see that kind of stack up a little bit. Like, they have been super intensive on, like, offensive line, defensive line. Jared Goff situation. Well, I saw the conversation yesterday. I don't want to give the lead away, but, like, Hendon's future is based on one or two things happening with Jared Goff. You know what I'm saying? So that's very interesting to me how Goff plays this year, because the guy's only 28 years old. Like, so I'm very interested to see how they stack up against that type of team. And as much offense as Kansas City has and as much defense as the Lions have really dove into, if they really turn into smash mouth football, that sounds so cliche, smash mouth football, then that could be very entertaining versus the Kansas City Chiefs.
Will, we already have a comment from Dan Campbell about this
do we?
opening game to the season.
Okay.
So this team's going to be built on, we're going to kick you in the teeth. And when you punch us back, we're going to smile at you. And when you knock us down, we're going to get up. And on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off. All right. And we're going to stand up. And then it's going to take 2 more shots to knock us down. And on the way up, we're going to take your other kneecap and we're going to get up. And then it's going to take 3 shots to get us down. And when we do, we're going to take another hunk out of you. Before long, we're going to be the last one standing.
Maybe you take a bite out of the cheeks, too, at one point.
So to open the season on Thursday night kneecapping, it will be the Lions and Chiefs on Thursday, September the 7th. 615-737-1045 is the number if you want to jump in. We will have the official releases. We will have reports. And we will have all the information you need as the NFL schedule takes shape throughout the morning. The other game that we have not discussed yet that was released yesterday officially by NFL.com is the rematch of the 2022 NFC Championship game between Jalen Hurts and Brock Purdy, question mark?
It's looking that way right now.
Perhaps.
You think he's going to be ready? I don't know if Purdy's going to be ready.
Week 13 will be Eagles and Niners.
Eagles and Niners.
I would imagine
Week
he's ready
13,
by
you
week
said?
13.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unless he.
That's what I was getting
I
to.
always just get nervous with those types of injuries.
Because you've been around baseball a good bit and seen that kind of come
Well,
around,
and just
right?
if I mean, just one sack, and landing on it wrong. It just that kind of injury always worries me. But I guess by 13, I feel like he should be ready. But what if Sam Darnold plays well?
I mean,
Not saying he's going to, but what if he plays well? Is it another quarterback controversy
they probably
with
prefer
backups
that.
there?
I'll say there's more mature, understanding the league a little bit, but it also boils down to intangibles and actually delivering in moments. I think is where Sam Darnold has to find his comfort. You know what I'm saying? Like that's one thing. Like guys can have all that maturity, have all of that, just experience on the field too. But can he actually deliver? Like I've actually seen guys not be able to flip that switch. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dude, you've been a career backup? Like,
And he was supposed to be a starter. I mean, he was drafted. What was he drafted? First round for sure.
Absolutely first round. I could never understand that though, Caleb. But people, when I've tried to have this conversation with people before, it's like, man, this dude's been in the league 7 years. He started here and there, but he's never become a starter. Like it is such a fine line, Caleb. Like I knew a buddy of mine I played with. He made it in the league 9. He was about to get 10. And that attitude got him, Caleb. And actually won a Super Bowl with a different team. Came in and just good enough to flash in practice, good enough to be good, but couldn't start. And it got to a point, it's like, you're a little bit too expensive for what we're trying to do, and they fired him.
Number 3 overall pick in 2018.
Jeez. Okay. Yeah. Jeez.
And then there were 5 Pro Bowlers taken after him in a row. Denzel Ward, Bradley Chubb, Quentin Nelson, Josh Allen, and Roquan Smith.
Oh, gosh.
Baker Mayfield went number 1 overall that season.
Oof.
615-737-1045 is the number if you want to jump in. Look, Ramon's probably going to get enough Cleveland shots in by the end of the show anyway, so we got to pace them out. We got to ration them.
You do.
Over 4 hours.
You do, man. I feel like we all have a mutual dislike for the AFC North because they were part of the Central too. Like there are some teams you be like, you know what I'm saying? So we ride in the same boat, Will.
Very true.
Nathaniel!
We ride in the same, yeah, absolutely. We play the same music is what we're saying.
We're just not going to curse anybody by stepping on any items from any of those teams. Coming up this morning, Coach Dave McGinnis at 7:20. We've got Teresa Walker joining us at 9:20, and we're wide open this morning because we're going to honestly learn a lot about the schedule by the time we are finished talking with you at 10 a.m. today. So this is a day to keep it locked in here on the Zone this morning as you try to get maybe discounted flights.
Oh, yeah.
Discounted hotels as soon as a game is set in stone. And there will be leaks. Many of them may be unconfirmed. We're going to parse our way through those and give you the source of whatever information comes to us as well. And it'll be a good morning to have a good morning. Here on Ramon, Kalen, Will, 104.5 The Zone.
Hey, it's Kaylin Ramon with Window Nation. Let's say you're looking to invest right now, right? It's been a while. You're saying, we want to invest, or I want to invest in something that's going to be worth it, that's going to pay off. Well, we have some amazing news from Window Nation. You can modernize, reinvest in your home today with new windows from Window Nation. They have the best deal of the year going on right now. Get 0% financing for 5 years, pretty much unheard of. On top of that, Window Nation will give you 2 free windows. Yes, free windows with every 2 you buy. You can protect, increase the value of your home today, which a lot of us want to do here in Middle Tennessee. Go to windownation.com. Check it out.
And speaking of Middle Tennessee, the weather impacts your windows crazy, okay? When it's rainy outside, guess what? Make sure nothing's getting underneath it. Those hot days, cool nights can cause caulk to crack, seal failure, condensation. That's a telltale sign if you need new windows right there. But Window Nation only uses top-of-the-line materials, including mold spray and Quad Max sealant, toughest against all weather conditions. All Window Nation does is windows, okay? They are expert. Installed over 200,000 windows last year, with 96% of them requiring no follow-up. So if you needed that vote of confidence, that's it right there. Simply call 866-90-NATION or go online to windownation.com.
Thursday morning on Ramon, Kayla, and Will, and it's powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors. When trust matters, count on All Four Seasons Garage Doors in Nashville. Professional garage door installation and repair from a locally owned and family-run business. Visit allfourseasonsgarages.com/Nashville. This music makes me feel a lot more official than I am here on this beautiful Thursday morning. Feels great outside. It is so much lighter outside now when we come in to do this show.
Holy smokes.
And I think my mood reflects it.
This is one of those times of the year where you need to have blackout curtains if you want to
really
sleep
do.
in.
Yep, because it comes up. I mean, what time does the sun really technically come up?
I see the horizon, I guess is what you
Me
want to call
too.
it, at like 5:05 at the late.
Oh, that's early.
Like you see the backdrop like 5:05 of like the horizon going up. Yeah.
Officially 5:45 sunrise.
5:45 is when it's up.
Okay.
But yeah, you see the peaks of daylight way before that.
And it's light out now.
Yeah, beautiful. I've been loving it. And I was so anti-summertime, y'all. I know I've said this before. I used to hate the summers.
Because of the humidity?
No, because I had to train in it all the time. Like, it was personal to me, Kayla.
Yeah.
Like, go train in Brentwood High.
It was personal.
It was personal.
He just said Brentwood High. Will's like, no, not Brentwood High.
I mean, Centennial used to train there. That park across from the Brentwood YMCA with the tall tower right there. I used to run over there. Like, I've run everywhere around this city.
Which
man.
YMCA? There's like 4 of them.
The one off Concord.
Yeah. Well, which one?
Well,
no,
the one where you get off on.
I know it was Tower Park.
Well, you
what you're
turn
talking about.
Tower Park. Yes, I've run there numerous times, man.
Or Crockett Park too.
Or Crockett Park. I'm not even sure about the name on it, but
That's where I ran a lot.
There's a lot of parks, by the way, in Nashville, Middle Tennessee.
It
It's
is.
so nice. I don't think people really realize, like, you don't get this in a ton of other places.
Yeah.
Like, so get out there today. What a nice day to get out there and stretch those legs.
Well,
We have the best parks in the country.
What?
You're gonna need an umbrella today.
Is it going to rain a little later?
Hey, starting about 11
What if
o'clock.
you're out there right
It gonna
now?
rain.
It's gonna
Get
rain.
out there now, then, folks.
That's fair. That's fair, Kayla. You should demand that from people.
We've been voted as the state with the best parks.
Oh, is it?
Multiple times.
Okay.
Between the national parks at the Great Smoky Mountains, the Warner Park system in Nashville is outstanding.
I see that being the case.
And then Crockett Park, Granny White Park, Tower Park, those are the ones where I spent my childhood days. I'm sure people in other communities can speak to other ones, but that's legit
yeah.
for sure.
And then where's the steeplechase is by what park?
Old Hickory and Highway 100, it is the Warner Park system is
Okay.
connected to it.
There we go.
Yeah. And Vaughn's Gap over there on Highway 100 also.
Speaking
Bonds
of
Gap.
steeplechase, join 104.5 The Zone
Yeah.
for the 82nd
Ooh.
running of the Iroquois Steeplechase, presented by Bank of America this Saturday, Percy Warner Park. Make tailgating a breeze by purchasing tickets to join us inside the all-inclusive Champions Corner. Thanks to Uncle Bud's and O'Charlie's. For more info to purchase tickets, visit 1045thezone.com.
Do they have mint juleps?
Of course.
Of course.
Of course.
I didn't know that had bourbon in it until recently.
I didn't know that either, Kayla.
I swear, you guys, I didn't know when I tasted it. And I was like, whoa.
I thought it was.
It was good, though.
I thought it was vodka in there.
The one I had bourbon.
Really? I'm gonna look up this
Legit.
recipe real
Well,
quick.
if it involves a horse race, then it's got to have bourbon in it
That's
because
That's
you got to
why.
think about where that's coming from
Yeah.
originally.
That's true.
That was last Saturday.
I love those things. I love a drink with mint in it is always like a plus for me.
It's
Like if I
refreshing.
see like a smoothie that's got like a little bit of mint in it,
Yep.
send it.
That's real.
Mm-hmm.
I'm down.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. And then there's the fresh taste of it too.
That's
gets
right.
me. Look at it sound like we're friggin'
We're
connoisseurs.
bartenders.
I know we're bartenders out here right now.
Well, you're already making $100 bets this morning, so you're clearly doing
On
it,
carbon,
which is fine.
I take that all day and be okay with losing it too, because that's my guy.
Well, the Titans will have opportunities to have the drinks of very many different places in 24 time zones. They will be traveling across this season, according to bookies.com. 18 teams will fly more than the Tennessee Titans, and the Seattle Seahawks are the top travelers in the NFL this season, traveling 31,600 miles across 36 time zones.
Yeah.
God,
You wonder why I don't go home a lot, guys.
It's a lot of time zones.
A lot of traveling. There, I just did the corner of the United States. Way, way, way up there. No matter where you go, it's going to take forever.
But it ain't bad that they're up there, though, because I think Seattle deserves that. The fan base is insane.
Sure.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's just, like you said, logistically, it's just a bad place to be at whenever you got to fly
When
and
you gotta
play
travel.
AFC East and stuff. So, yeah.
Yep.
I didn't realize this, but, like, I guess a lot of people ask the question, like, operating costs of, like, NFL teams and stuff. Like, this is a part of it too. That's one thing I will say, that the college side of, hey, athletes got to be paid. I'm like, well, yeah, athletes bring the money in, but also the operating costs of like flying the games, meals prep, and how wasteful, I'll be honest with you, we are as athletes sometimes.
Really?
Yeah, we're very wasteful. I've seen a lot of stuff just get thrown away after one sip.
So when you were playing and the schedule was coming out, what is the first thing that you wanted to know?
Where my divisional opponents were.
Okay.
That was the first thing. Also, teams I expected to be good, where are they at? Okay, if we were playing teams that had, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, and, Phillip Rivers even, okay, where are they at? If we got to play a team with a really good defense, like I knew when the Titans were on the schedule, this is going to be a physical game. Where in the season is this game at? And I'll be honest with you. A portion of it would be like, I hope it ain't early in the season so that we can get our bearings together. But I hope it ain't super late in the season to where that defense could get really good. So those were the first things is, all right, please. And that's why I brought it up to Rhett yesterday too. It was more or less like, I hated playing the good divisional opponent 3 weeks, 2 games in 3 weeks, because there's so much that goes into it. And I'd also just be like, well, I hope they get beat down a little bit in between the times we got to play them. That was the first thing I looked at, division opponents.
Oh, sure.
That's going to be the interesting part of the Titans schedule coming out today is how early do you get AFC South teams who have questionable quarterback situations?
Yes.
That's the number one thing that I want to know, because I want the Titans to see Jacksonville as early or as late as possible, because it doesn't matter for them when you play them. They know who their quarterback is.
Right.
I would love to see him right after they go to London for 2 weeks in a row. But I think the Titans need to try to get the Colts early again.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the Texans early again before C.J. Stroud and Anthony Richardson are maybe even starting.
Yep.
For those two teams.
That's fair.
Yep.
And likely you're going to get one of those two early on. Surely the Titans won't play the Colts twice by the end of the first half of the season for a third straight year.
God, you wouldn't think so.
I would hope not, Kayla.
But I felt like the last 2 years they've played them early on, and it kind of gotten them out of the way in the first half of the season. That's why I was surprised to see them so close together last year.
Yeah. Me on the fan side of it now, I want to see them spread out a little bit more, because I want to see the early version of that team and the later version of that team, whether they get better or they start to suck later. I was like, that's why I like to see it spread out a little bit more like that. Well, the other thing that I watched for too on schedule release, primetime games.
Yep.
How many?
Did the Jets have?
They got, I think, the max this year. I think they got 6, if I'm not mistaken, 5 or 6. But we had numerous times where we get like 4 minimum, and then those late afternoon games too. Oh, I used to love that. More eyes on you too.
Of course.
The Titans have played both games against the Colts by week 8 each of the last 2 seasons.
Wow.
In 2021, the Titans played the Colts in week 3 and week 8 that season. Won both of them, by the way. And in 2022, they won both of them again and played the Colts in week 4 and week 7 after the bye week. We know the Titans are headed to London on October the 15th. That's week 6. So the guess is that the bye week is week 7 on October the 22nd. Again, if you missed it yesterday, the same day that Tennessee plays Alabama for the second straight year. Last year, the bye week was week 6. And the bye week came at a good time a season ago for the Titans, because they were so banged up by the time week 5 was over against the Washington Commanders, when they just held on for dear life to win that game.
Yeah.
And then, they were just banged up that way for the rest of the season.
That's early, right? I mean, week 6 is early for a bye week
That's
for the most part.
about as early as you're going to get.
Okay.
I hate it.
I think it is the earliest you can get.
It is the earliest. So you said you hated that if it came early?
Because let me catch a rhythm.
Okay.
Gosh, rhythm of the team. And then week 6, you get the early break. Fine, cool. You can go to Miami, do as you want to, because the weather's still good at that time of year, right? But it's also just like, where's my break afterwards?
Sure.
'Cause when late November, December hit, things start to get very real, and I'd love to have a break then, other than an early Thursday night game.
And now the schedule's bigger. I
Yeah.
mean, you got an extra game now.
Exactly.
In 2021, the bye week was week 13,
Okay.
and the Titans ended 4-1 in the last 5 after that bye week.
Yeah.
Their only loss was to Pittsburgh.
This is really good reset. That's all that is, Will. Like most coaches will tell you, by the end of the season, you need to have lost your last game. You know what I'm saying? With that momentum, and that's the reason I always loved it that way was because you could have a late season mental reset without having a Thursday night game.
Yep.
I have a question for you, real quick, if
Sure.
you have it still pulled up on that early bye week last week, week 6, right?
Last year?
Was it last year they had a week 6 bye week? When were the Thursday night games, if they have that on there?
Yes, the Thursday night games were week 11 in Green Bay against the Packers,
Yep.
the final win of the season.
Hey.
Uh-oh, DA.
Hey,
DA.
man.
That's what happened.
You remember that day.
And
clearly.
Thursday, December the 29th in week 17 against the Dallas Cowboys. So
Okay.
the struggle there was you had Sunday night against the Chiefs on November the 6th. Then you had Thursday night against the Packers on November 17th, just 2 weeks later. So you had 2 primetime games in a span of 3 weeks. And then you had another one week 17 against Dallas. And you had the Saturday game against the Texans on Christmas Eve.
That
mixed
back
in there as
half,
well in week 16.
That was not a nice back half schedule
You
It
went
was brutal.
with no
Thursday, followed by 4 Sunday games, Saturday, Thursday, Saturday to finish the season.
Yep.
I don't remember a season that disjointed ever for the Titans.
I'm going to be real. I'd be a little ticked off.
breaks. Yep.
You got all rights. Like, I don't know what influence Miss Amy Adams-Strunk has with the NFL front offices of Vrabel, but I'll say this. I know Mr. Roney in Pittsburgh said something about Pittsburgh always opening the season up on the road, and I'm itching to see where the opening game is for them. That Sunday, Thursday, Sunday, Saturday game,
yeah.
well, that's not okay whatsoever. Don't treat me like I'm your redheaded stepchild. Like, and I know it's all scheduling and events and, but I would have to say something about that.
And
Don't do my team like
They
that.
didn't really complain. That's the thing. They didn't really say anything last year.
That's not the Mike Vrabel way.
Nope. Or the players' way.
It's tough.
That being said, don't complain then, Titans fans, when you only maybe get 1 primetime game this year. Keep that same energy in perspective because that schedule being as different as it was contributed to the losing streak at the end of the season. There was no routine
100%.
for a team that had a lot of replacement level players. It's not the reason why they lost 7 in a row down the stretch. Their quarterback getting hurt was the biggest factor in that. But ultimately, you go into a season now where you can be in the role where Titans teams have thrived the most throughout history, and that is as the underdog under the radar. Embrace it. Learn from it. Adopt the darkness. Because you have an opportunity now to be in the best spot for this franchise, which is under the radar.
Is that what we're predicting is like one
I thought I was going to ask
one
that.
national game? I'm
I was going to
curious.
ask it too later
Okay.
in the show.
All right, go
do it
ahead.
now.
No, we'll do it later, Will. I'll ask
How many primetime games?
including or excluding Thursday?
That's
How
a
many
lot.
primetime games?
Yeah.
I got Thursday. They got to have a Monday night.
Okay.
Thursday and a Monday night, so that's 2.
I'm doing 2.
I'm gonna throw one more in. I could see Titans get a primetime game against the Jags.
Okay.
I got 3, Kayla.
Okay. And London's its own thing. Like London.
Yeah,
is,
London's not prime
Yeah,
time.
so it's not
London.
prime.
It's morning time.
Even though it's the only game. But
I got 3.
Jonathan Schaefer, primetime games?
3.
I'm saying 1.
Ooh, that's tough.
I think it's the Atlanta Falcons. That's my guess.
Yeah.
I think
that'd be a
Arthur
good
Smith
guess.
versus Mike Vrabel is a primetime
Yep.
game. Bijan Robinson against Derrick Henry. You've got the coach narrative to it. You've got the element of Atlanta kind of building up a little bit, perhaps a team that wants to be kind of pushed forward a little bit as an up-and-coming group. And I think it's a Thursday night game.
It would have to be.
Yep.
Because I'm going to say the quiet part out loud. Nationally, no one outside the Southeast cares.
Oh, yeah, of course not.
Yeah.
That's tough.
That's why it's a Thursday night game.
That's tough. Not even like Titans Miami late.
No.
No chance.
I mean, there's
They
always
can
a chance.
yeah.
I know
they
it's
can-
a chance,
But,
I'm gonna hold 3. I'm gonna hold
Okay.
3.
I think the other ones that I'm interested in, Cincinnati, but Cincinnati's going to have plenty of teams that have national intrigue with them because they're a good team. Los Angeles, that Titans-Chargers game was good last year. Justin Herbert is always a candidate to be in primetime. Los Angeles market, always a candidate to be in primetime, even though I would argue the Chargers might have the smallest fan base in the NFL,
It's
respectfully.
so
So
But I think the Colts matchup is interesting, and there may be an interdivision primetime matchup here just because late in the season, is there a television network? Is there a schedule conversation that comes down to, can we get Will Levis against one of these other rookie quarterbacks late in the season?
I could see that happening.
Can they gamble on a Week 14 primetime Monday night against the Colts where you could sell Anthony Richardson against Will Levis?
That's a headline waiting.
You know
It's a-
people love
Well,
that.
of course.
It's a new era.
Yeah.
That's a new era. And of course, if you guys been saying the same stuff I have, every article, opinion about the Titans starting quarterback has a slash on it.
Of course it does.
Well, there's one game in the AFC South that I think is a lock to be a primetime game. And I'll tell the people what I think that is coming up next. 615-737-1045. It's Ramon, Kalen, Will, 1045 The Zone.
Join 104.5 The Zone for a live taping of The Install with Greg Cosell, sponsored by Spring Hill Heating and Cooling and hosted by Buck Rising at Analog at Hutton Hotel. That is coming up Saturday, May 20th. Be there live as Greg Cosell breaks down the Tennessee Titans 2023 draft. Take questions from the audience, talk NFL, and more. Tickets on sale now, $25 to purchase tickets. Visit 1045thezone.com.
There is one game in the AFC South that I'm going to go ahead and put in pen as a primetime game. Here on Ramon, Kale, and Will, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors. I've made my guess that it's going to be Titans-Falcons as a Thursday night game this season, but there is one game for certain. Texans and Colts is going to be a primetime game at some point this season.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Probably Thursday night, maybe Sunday night. I don't know if it reaches Monday night level, but Anthony Richardson against C.J. Stroud is a primetime game this season, without a shadow of a doubt.
I want to watch it.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I want to watch that one. I'm being completely honest with you. Seeing those two compete against one another, knowing that that's got to be the matchup for years to come because they're in the same division, but also the idea, like psychologically, how can you beat him and take that first dub or first couple of dubs, whatever it's going to be? Like, this should be a duel. This should be okay, we're going to let you fly. How you going to look against him for the next double-digit years?
It's amazing, the AFC South, what trajectory could happen if these quarterbacks, these young quarterbacks that were just drafted this year, including the Titans' Will Levis, all actually live up to being starting quarterbacks. I mean, this could be a fascinating division. And then you add Trevor Lawrence, who, by the way, is younger than Will Levis.
Yeah.
And you've got a division now that all of a sudden they go from maybe being a joke of a division the last couple of few years to like, whoa, this division is stacked with young quarterbacks. Like, I think it's going to be incredible to see how this all pans out. And it might not pan out at all, guys, in terms of that. That's why starting it with a primetime game with the CJ Stroud and the Anthony Richardson, I agree. I think that people would be locked in.
Yeah.
The opponents for the other AFC South teams, of course, Jacksonville gets division winners in the AFC, in addition to the AFC North, which the AFC South is paired with in 2023. Jacksonville's NFC West opponent that is added as the 17th team is San Francisco, that they are scheduled to get at home. That's another primetime possibility for Trevor Lawrence and the Jags. Titans, of course, get Seattle as their NFC West additional opponent, the 17th game. Indianapolis gets the Rams, which is kind of a good luck of the draw for them, that they get the Rams at this point. And Houston gets Arizona. That is a game that I do not expect will be in primetime.
That's gross. Who knows who the quarterback will be at that point with Arizona?
I know. Well, I think it's still going to be Kyler. Kyler is there because he's the heavy check. But I just look at it as like, how good is he going to be? He actually went and got him weapons and stuff too. My other portion of this too, when it comes down to I want to go 49ers for a second.
Okay.
I almost feel like Brock Purdy is let me watch this TV, not must see TV. Is let me watch this TV, because what if this guy blossoms into Brady-like conversation? I think we could see and have that conversation in a year or two. Like, that's the ultimate dream for a franchise is, boy, you Mr. Irrelevant. Like,
no, I think that's fair.
I want to see this TV more than must-watch TV when it comes down to Brock Purdy. And if he does heal from that injury, I'm very intrigued by the idea that he can turn into something other than just a backup. But also the Trey Lance conversation. Like,
that's still there.
Even though this is the topic, as far as him and Brock Purdy, it's not going to change the idea that we're still going to draft quarterbacks early if we think they have talent, though. I want to see how they're going to handle that as a franchise.
Well, with Brock Purdy, and he was, like you said, Mr. Irrelevant, Mr. Teaspoon Boy, like Michael says over in London. It is funny, too, because it's like, okay, you had that showing last year, and people just latched on to the fact that, oh my gosh, maybe you could find a gem of a quarterback late in the draft. And that's really been a thing people have been running with. Like, we want to find the next Brock Purdy, right?
Yep.
That doesn't happen often. Let's just make that clear. And we'll see for sure if he can continue to be that Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, could maybe get to be similar to a Brady situation in the future, but that's still to be determined because of that injury. You just don't know when he'll be back, but I think it'll be fascinating to watch that unfold too.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. We also have an entire schedule that has been leaked by a writer from The Athletic for the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, boy.
Matt Schneidman of The Athletic reporting that the Green Bay Packers will have 5 primetime games this season.
What? What? Without Aaron Rodgers?
Without Aaron Rodgers, the Green Bay Packers. It didn't shock me. I mean, they're still the Packers.
I'm shocked.
Wow.
Those games being Detroit on Thursday Night Football on September 28th. So that would be 2 primetime games on Thursday night for the Lions in the first 4 weeks of the season.
Oh.
They're paying attention.
The Raiders in primetime on Monday Night Football on October 9th in Week 5 for Green Bay. This would have, again, on a Thursday, Green Bay at Detroit. So make that 3 Thursday games for Detroit, if this schedule is correct. And then Sunday Night Football on December 3rd, Monday Night Football on December 11th, and Sunday Night Football on December 17th. Those against the Chiefs, Giants, and Vikings for the Green Bay Packers.
I can see the Vikings link, though.
Yeah.
I get that one.
3 Thursday games for Detroit, and that's only knowing 4 weeks of their schedule, or 3 weeks of their schedule. They're all Thursday games.
They're in there being like,
I know. But you know what? They will be able to catch a rhythm with it being so early in the season,
That's a good
too.
point.
And they get that extra little bonus weekend. If it's that early in the season and they go back to back, so be it.
Well, we have learned the most important schedule release of the morning, official from the NFL, the Nickelodeon game on Christmas.
I love that.
Has been released. Find out who's getting slimed this Christmas next on 104.5 The Zone.
7 o'clock. Good morning. I'm Jonathan Schaefer from the Superbook.com sports desk. As it was just said by the big voice guy, full NFL schedule this evening. Rhett Bryan, Joe Hunk with coverage from 6 to 7. Westwood One coverage from 7 to 9 tonight on The Zone. We do know the Titans will face the Baltimore Ravens in London at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on Sunday, October 15th. That's week 6. Local start time for that will be 8:30 in the morning. According to Jordan Schultz of The Score, the Chiefs will play the Lions to open the 2023 NFL season Thursday night, September 7th. To the NBA, Warriors 121, Lakers 106. The Warriors force a Game 6. Knicks 112, Heat 103. Jalen Brunson, 38 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists. They also force a Game 6 against the Heat. Maple Leafs 2, Panthers 1. Maple Leafs avoid a sweep. Oilers 4, Golden Knights 1. That series tied at 2 games apiece. Major League Baseball, Red Sox 5, Braves 2. Atlanta had its 3-game winning streak snapped. And to Nashville SC, the boys in gold defeated FC Dallas 2-0 at Geodis Park last night. They advanced to the round of 16 in the U.S. Open Cup. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
NFL schedule release day is here at last. Welcome to Ramon, Kayla, and Will, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors. Coming up in 20 minutes, Coach Dave McGinnis, the number one thing a former NFL coach wants to know when a new schedule is released. And with Titans rookie minicamp coming up this weekend, what is the biggest thing that he wants to see improved upon when rookies get in the team facility for the first time? He's Ramon Foster.
Yeah.
That's Kayla Anderson. And behind the glass, there's Jonathan Schaefer.
Back producing. Wow.
My name is Will Bowling. The phone number
name is Will Bowling.
coming up in a minute.
I love the drop, Will.
615-737-1045. You've got your plans for Christmas Day on Nickelodeon. This is being called the Nickmas game.
I like
Yeah.
it.
As the Las Vegas Raiders will visit those plucky, upstart, nobody believes in them Kansas City Chiefs. I'm going to get so tired of seeing the Chiefs and Travis Kelce's stupid face on my timeline all day.
All right.
Tell them how
now.
you really feel. What did you just say? All
Right now. That is the Chiefs. They're the hot item right now. Has
Are they not?
Has it been a more hot team than them, though? I mean, the Patriots had their run, but the Patriots were boring. All right now.
I don't know if they were advertised as boring in the moment, though. They were just the team that is dominant.
They were villains is what they were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were villains, man.
And Brady was not cool Brady. He was like just by the books Brady.
He was Darth
Boring
Brady.
Yeah, he was
the
boring
books.
Brady. That's exactly what it was. But nobody has been put on the pedestal like the Chiefs have. I will give you that, Will. Other than I think they were hoping the Rams would last long.
Yeah, right.
It's because the Chiefs have Stephen Curry at quarterback in Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, Rand Carthon.
What?
That's very true.
That-
Hey, Rand Schaefer.
Oh, no, you're right. I'm just
Yeah.
Hey, Rand Schaefer.
Hey. Brad Schaefer, that's funny.
honestly, the comparisons are pretty good between Golden State and Kansas City.
I just got to
It's
hate
a,
on
it's
Schaefer.
a flashy
It's easy.
game. He's a flashy player. He's Curry of that sport. That's why Kansas City is who Kansas City is.
They're the ones who knock.
And you know what they mean in the league because, like I said, when Rand Carthon brings that up umpteen million times when he's like kind of comparing, and I know he wasn't doing it in like you have to have more than Steph Curry, but he loves that comparison.
He does.
By the way, I don't think it's a good comparison because Kansas City can run the football when they need to.
Sure.
That's not their main thing. They can be physical when they need to. And oh, by the way, they win a lot. They've gone to 3 Super Bowl. They've gone to 3-1-2 with Mahomes. So I get it. I understand what he's trying to say. It just seemed a little misguided.
Well, he hasn't said it recently.
pipe dream of mine was
That's why I was a
being
little misguided.
was being a young guy on the team that won the Super Bowl super early. I'd be like loving that. Like, oh, got that out the way. Now let's go chase this bag.
Almost happened.
It did almost happen.
Just like you got the throwing up in front of the owner out of the way.
I did. It never happened again.
You got that out early, and then you're good for the rest of the
Felt
time.
a whole lot better after that too, Will.
He still doesn't know that story, Rooney.
He probably does. He's been around the league for so long. He was probably just
He's
like,
heard
look
it
at
somewhere.
This idiot young guy. It's fair. It was a fair assessment for sure. But that's what the Super Bowl does, man. I was super excited as a young dude.
It makes you throw up? That's what it does?
No, it just makes you go outside of your mind and be irresponsible is what that was.
Believe you remote Foster.
That's very fair.
It happens.
Full schedule is out tonight at 7 o'clock. NFL Network, ESPN, Titans radio coverage as well at 6 p.m. tonight with Rhett Bryan as they preview what is upcoming in the schedule release this evening. I do think it is smart the way the NFL does this day now. And Jim Nagy, the Senior Bowl, just put this out on his Twitter about 5 minutes ago and said the gradual leaks, those are very smart moves by the NFL because now we are talking about it literally all day.
Yes, we are.
Like, there is no mistake about these things coming out when they are.
Yeah.
I don't know if maybe full schedules should be out. I doubt the NFL wants that, but you know that they're just watching all of us have these conversations, and they've got us wrapped around their finger.
It's enough to have a conversation, keep you intrigued enough to be like, well, is it real? That also makes you go to the evening session of like watching the broadcast of them revealing the schedule. Like, because it's fair that, look, if I know we're playing Team X on this date, then I can go ahead and book my flight, book my hotel too. So that's what it makes you do in those moments. Get your hotels right now, I'll tell you that.
Especially for the international games, if you're planning on going to any of those, it gives you a little bit of time to do that. But you know what? That's why the NFL, we always talk about they're the biggest, they're the baddest.
Yep.
Look, we just got done with talking about the draft for 3 months straight.
Yep.
All the mock drafts, all the things we did. We can laugh at all that as much as we want, but we talked about it. People were interested in it. And then you've got the draft, and guess what? Boom, now you've got the schedule release, and it just goes from one thing to another to another. We're not complaining because we love to talk NFL on here.
We do. Speaking of big and bad, I got to do something real quick. Will y'all mind?
Uh-oh.
Hey, I just want to get a happy birthday to my youngest, Miles
That's
Chase
right.
Foster.
Absolutely.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, young savage, man. Shape, hit him with what I want to say to him, though, real quick. And happy birthday to him. I don't care. Good luck. Good luck.
Good luck, Miles.
Happy birthday, Miles.
Happy birthday,
That's awesome.
Miles.
And he is 11.
Go
Wait,
off,
it's his
King.
Go off, King.
11/11 birthday.
It is. It's the 11/11
What do they call that?
birthday. Double sticks out here. Good
Yeah.
luck today, man.
And his name is Miles Foster.
There he
That
goes.
was good.
Happy
man.
birthday to the boy.
Happy birthday,
Yeah, it's Miles'
kiddo.
birthday and I can't see him.
Hey.
That's awesome.
Happy birthday, kiddo. Papa's love you, man. I had to shout
That's
him out real
awesome.
quick.
Big
man.
day.
It is.
Big day.
Are you doing anything?
11-year-old, man. Always doing something, Kayla.
Like, what's a request from 11-year-old for their birthday? Because I can't remember. That was a very long time ago.
Sports related stuff. He
Sure.
wanted like an MLB The Show game.
Yep.
And
Okay.
they wanted a bat. So it's stuff
Oh,
that
yeah.
like you actually gonna get use out of if he gets that type of stuff.
Old
Wink,
Hickory?
wink. Not yet with that one still.
Okay.
Old Hickory, I think, do wood bat still.
Louisville
He's still
Slugger?
in what was it? Gosh, Lee, I forget which bat it was he was asking for, but it looks super cool, the
Okay.
one he pointed out. A sliding mitt he needs because of his thumb.
Get him that.
Maybe he needs it. Exactly what it was, man. Sliding mitt, he asked for that. And not V-Bucks, but like PlayStation Bucks and
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
to do stuff with.
Okay.
I buy myself FIFA points every Christmas. It's my gift to myself.
Really? I believe you.
No, yeah. I'm a menace to society when it comes to spending money on video games.
This man has a girlfriend.
On a video game, not multiple.
You FIFA guys are insane, by the way.
Yeah, it's fine.
Wait,
I
that
only
seemed
played
a
it for like
lot.
2 hours yesterday.
That seemed like it's like distress in your voice when you said
Oh, yeah, no, I hate it. I hate it.
Take the surprise out your voice.
I hate that game so much, and I love it so much.
It's aggravating?
I've
Like,
been playing it for 11 straight years. I've not taken a year off. I've probably spent thousands of dollars on
my
it over the
goodness.
last 11 years.
but that's
It's
your,
$100 a year to buy it.
Okay.
because I buy the super premium edition.
That's your vice, though. Like you
It is
enjoy
my
that.
thing that I do to like
Decompress.
check out. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Well, and it's also broadcast prep now too. Actually,
get out of
point.
here.
I have a tradition where every morning of a Nashville SC game, I will play the game with like as close to the lineups as I think there will be. I'll play with like the last lineups from each team, and then I'll play one as Nashville and then one as the opponent.
That's smart.
I start
actually.
as the opponent. That way, I can learn like where everyone is in the formation, like how like all of it works. Basically, you can learn which is their strong or weak foot. Like if they're left-footed or right-footed, you can learn
Yeah.
that from playing FIFA because that's all realistic. Like what they look like, stuff like that.
There you
I
go.
truly believe, like, you've beat AI.
Education.
You really have.
A couple
like,
weeks ago, I scored 6 goals with one of Nashville's players in one game. I was like, well, all right, that's a good vibe for tonight.
So did they actually win the game, the match?
That was a scoreless draw
Okay,
on that day.
that's fair.
Yeah.
Wow, Will, you've beat AI, man.
I mean,
This
it actually
AI
is really
thing.
helpful. So the thing about this, and I promise you I'll move on to those of
No,
you who
this
are
is-
pulling
thank
your hair out. Ramon gets fascinated by some of these things, and I just
I do.
roll with it. FIFA is the best game to own because you can't just spam like glitch plays. Like if you've played any kind of sports video game, you know, like, all right, these 5 plays, an automatic sack, an automatic touchdown.
Yep.
Like if you run stretch on Madden, stretch off tackle,
Yep.
it's like a 30-yard gain if like they're in a certain coverage, they're in a certain like defensive alignment.
So true.
You can't do that in soccer because there's no set plays.
That makes
So
all
you
the
have to
sense
be
in the world.
creative and you have to like actually figure it out against your opponent based on what they're doing.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was talking video games on Ramon K. Littlewell. 615-737-1045 with Coach Matt coming up here in just a couple of minutes. I'm curious just what he wants to see out of rookie minicamp this weekend from the coach's perspective, right, Ramon? Because when you were coached for the first time by the Pittsburgh Steelers,
we do not care.
do you remember what that first experience was like in Pittsburgh? Like the first interactions you had with your coaches?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It was business related. It was encouraging though, and it was more or less just, hey, let it take care of itself. Like on a professional level. I do remember the schedule conversation too the first time around, Will. That was a very interesting take. I may have to ask Coach Mack about that because they had just won the Super Bowl the year before.
Sure.
And the emphasis on that Thursday night game, and it wasn't even really, Will, the emphasis on it, it was how the structure of camp was going to be. Like, it was a pressure cooker, and like, look, we got to get ready before everybody else does. Like, the physicality side of it, the health side of it, the planning on, look, taking care of your bodies towards the later part of camp. Like, that is a very... Coaches got a plan for that type of stuff, but it's fascinating for sure.
And it's also, covering it last year with the theme of Traylon Burks and the asthma stuff. Like, there's always something that comes out of rookie minicamp, right? And you don't ever want to be that player, unfortunately, that has the negative talk around you.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're not going to have that. Maybe it'll be all great headlines. So you always come into that too as a player, probably thinking, okay, I got to be like ready to go here. Like,
Oh, yeah.
because you know that the media, this is the first time they get to see you, the first time they really get to talk to you in person, and it's the first time the fans are getting to see you and hear from you in the facility. So it's always interesting to see how they kind of react as newbies to now everything's focused on them specifically.
I was so nervous, Will. But what's so interesting, I had like articles back when I was searching my name on stuff. I could see stuff be like, Foster has a really good chance of making this roster. I was like, oh, wow.
Like, I do?
I do. Had no clue.
I know you believed in
me?
yourself, but yeah, it's fair.
It's, yeah. We'll hash that out, Will.
These
for
weren't
sure.
just recruiting websites that were interviewing you after high school football games at Ripley.
I hated those things in college.
Fair.
We'll get into that.
Coming up, Coach Dave McGinnis joins us, his weekly visit here on the show as Titans Radio's head coach joins us next on 104.5 The Zone.
Season tickets for the Preds 2023-24 season are on sale right now. The Preds will be celebrating their 25th anniversary throughout the 23-24 season. They have full, half, and quarter season plans available to you. You can join the Loyal Legion today and receive the best seat locations at the best pricing. Up to 50% off on discounts on concessions throughout the season. 6 bonus tickets to select games in the 23-24 season. And you'll have priority access to the 2023 NHL Draft and Awards hosted right here in Nashville. Exclusive season ticket citizen gifts throughout the season. You can learn more at NashvillePredators.com/season tickets.
NFL schedule release day continues here on Ramon, Kayla, and Will, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors, as we talk with the head coach at Titans Radio, Coach Dave McGinnis, presented by Farm Bureau Health Plans. Look to the folks at Farm Bureau Health Plans when you need someone who knows the health coverage game plan. They've been protecting Tennesseans for 76 years. Coach Mack, what's up?
Well, you guys got the schedule out yet? You're going to let me know early, or you're going to have to wait like I am?
We have not been given leaks, so we cannot leak the leaks quite yet, Coach.
All right, well, that's fine. At least we can still talk about it this morning. How's everybody doing? Good?
Good, Coach.
Matt. Good, Coach.
Coach, how excited are you to go to London and hear Rhett's, what I think is a fantastic British accent for the next weeks leading up to October 15th?
You know, anything concerning Rhett, I'm always excited about.
Absolutely.
You never really know. Yeah, you never really know, but you know it's going to be entertaining, and yeah, at the core of it, it's going to be fairly meaningful. Yeah, the London game. This will be my fourth trip with the team to London, and I've always it's amazed me as to how it's progressed over the years. I mean, I went in '86 and one of the first ones in against the Cowboys when I was with the Bears. I mean, and the way that the league and especially the UK and London has progressed on this game now, it is so smoothly run now. I mean, it's a thing of beauty, and it's just when you go over there, and I encourage if our fans can go because it's a spectacle. I mean, they treat every ball game that's over there just like it's a Super Bowl as far as the number of fans. Now they've got the different stadiums that they have it in. You know, it used to just be in Wembley, but it's a trip worth making, and it is a sight worth beholding if you like the National Football League.
How difficult would it be to play 2 weeks in a row in London? I know Jacksonville is going to have to do that this year. What are the challenges in living out of a suitcase in another country for that long?
Not really. I mean, once you get over there,
Sure.
I mean, the biggest thing is the time change. But you look, when you travel with an NFL team over there, you know, they're staying over there. I mean, it's not like, you know, they're staying in places and having to double up in rooms. I mean, you're pretty well taken care of over there. So that part of it, you know, I mean, teams now, guys, you know, you've been around doing it long enough. I've done it, you know, as a coach. You know, sometimes if you're going to play, you know, back-to-back coast games, you know, especially on extreme coast, west or east, depending on where your team is, teams have done that and stayed, you know, played a game and then stayed for the next week. So it's not really a problem. Look, traveling over there now with an NFL team to London and to Germany now, the way it's going to be, it's not a real strain on you as far as accommodations.
And you were talking, Coach, about, I feel like yesterday on 3HL, you'd been over to Germany for some camps. Is that correct? And they've kind of embraced the whole football vibe, too. I remember seeing the game last year. It was incredible over there.
Yeah, Kayla, when I was with the Bears for 3 summers, off-season summers in a row, really, in June, you know, we got because the Bears were the team at the time, and myself and a couple other coaches, I did it all 3 years, you know, had several different coaches go with me. We were brought over there by BMW for 10 days to do camps, you know, football camps, you know, basically in presentations throughout. I mean, we had a car and a driver, and I mean, you know, go all the way from Munich to Cologne to Dusseldorf to all up and down, and then, you know, you either got paid money to bring you back or you got the car and the driver for another week over there. I mean, it was pretty solid. So anyway, but then I mean, I can remember doing we did lectures, and you know, we had an interpreter clearly, but you know, just presenting clinics over there, you know, 200 and 300 people, and then we'd go on the field, and the interest then was huge. Now, I mean, it's big.
So, Coach, last year's schedule, towards the end of the year, 2 Thursday games, a Saturday game. I just remember covering that at that time of the year, and I'm exhausted. I can't imagine what the players, you know, Coach Vrabel was feeling like. Never use that as an excuse, but you're looking at this year's schedule. You're hoping and praying it's not something like that at the end of the season where you're playing that many games within a short amount of time.
Yeah, last year's schedule was really, really different. It was broken up, and it was pretty challenging as far as when you're a coach and you're waiting for the schedule to come out. And when you see the schedule, the first thing you check is where are my division games? How are they spaced? And then you want to look and see what your altered schedule looks like. In other words, where are the altered schedule games? Because then you're going to have to make, differences as far as preparation, times your team gets to rest, how that's going to look. And some of that depends on, especially early on, as to how, you're going to conduct your training camp. Of course, that your first preseason game is going to be, 15 days after you come into camp, but you get your regular season schedule. Where's my division games? Where's my altered schedule? How many in a row do I have at home? How many in a row do I have on the road? And then, of course, now, in today's NFL, now when your international schedule is, because that makes a difference too. Yeah, and your operations people have to already, be on top of that. And so all of those things come into being when you start looking at, because what it does, it not only shows you, what you're going to have to be able to develop as a head coach and talk about as a staff, how you're going to get your team ready during the season. A lot of it depends too on how you approach your preseason and how you approach your training camp, looking at what is going to be ahead of you, especially in the first 6 weeks of the season. But where your division games are is a huge thing, because, the quickest way to the tournament is to be able to win your division. Then you look for your altered schedule games. And then what you start looking at is where's my stretch? Of course, you also want to see when's my open date. Well, now if you've got an international game, that's going to be the week after, your international game. And so all of those things come into being. That's what you want to look at. And then you just got to get your team ready to play, because whatever the schedule is, and you're right, Kayla, last year was a really, really different type of a schedule, but whatever it is, you got to get ready and play.
Yep.
Coach Mack, as we talk about this London game, because we have that date against the Ravens, I have to ask you this, Coach.
Yeah.
What's the difference now for the NFL versus the NFL Europe League? Like, what did they learn in the constant conversation of a team being over there? What's the difference now as opposed to, I think that was around 2007-08 when they did NFL Europe?
Yeah, well, the whole NFL Europe thing was different because, of course, then the league was sponsoring an entire league over there. But here's what's changed for teams. Look, the first time, this will be my fourth trip to London, with a team. And then I've also, was with the Bears. We played a game in Gothenburg, Sweden against the Vikings. I mean, that was book worthy. And then, we played the 49ers in Berlin, at Olympic Stadium. I mean, that was really, is the year that the wall came down. So, I mean, it was two pretty historic runs there. But the difference now, Ramon, going to the London games, they've been doing it for so long now. Everything is so streamlined now. The first time that a couple of times when I've gone to London, we went for a week, way too long. We'd go way too long. Okay. And I mean, and now they've got it streamlined, and our ops people at the Titans, Brent Akers and his group do a tremendous job. And everything is way now very smooth, because the people over there have it down to a T. Your people now have got enough, have got enough experience now with what it is, that it's really easier to go over. The first thing that everybody always was worried about, of course, was the time change. Yep. They've got that figured out pretty well now. So now, I mean, it's fairly easy when you go over that. It runs pretty smooth now. It's a lot different, Ramon, than it was in the early days. I mean, I can remember going over that first game in '86 when we went over against. I mean, we didn't know what the what. You land there at Heathrow, and all of a sudden you're there for a week, and every day it's something different. Now everything is so on point and so planned out, and it's a lot different now. It really is, and it's a good experience. It's a great experience. Last time we went in 2018, smoothest trip I'd been on, in all of them, and it's gotten that way annually when the league is used to doing it now.
Will asked me earlier, did I look at the schedule release and did it mean something to me as a player? I think yes, because you plan out your opponents. You plan out, whether you get those primetime games. But what does it do for coaching staffs as far as knowing, okay, if we have this Thursday night game, if we're starting out the season opener, does it really change the way you do training camp, off-season programming? What matters to you guys on the schedule release day?
Yeah, well, I mean, as I say, absolutely it does. You look and see, first of all, as I said, where's my division game?
Yeah.
How are they lumped together? That's extremely important. Now, the trend lately for the National Football League is these division games have started being moved more towards the end of the schedule, just because you're playing to get into the tournament, and so clearly, the games, all division games mean something. And so, a lot of them have been pushed a little bit more towards the end. The other thing that you look at, you talk about the altered schedule. Altered schedules make a big difference as far as Caleb brought up a great point. Last year was really challenging, for the Titans, because you're playing a first-place schedule and you had so many altered schedule games. And then we don't even want to get into the challenges that you had, with injuries. That's not anything you can look at, when you look at your schedule release. Your schedule release is exciting because, everybody is looking forward to it. But when you get down to the preparation part of it, for players and for coaches, you kind of want to see, because the one thing that players and coaches both, regardless of what's going on with the way the schedules have changed, you've added a 17th game now, you want to see how much you can get into a routine. That as a player.
Yeah.
That's big. How much you can get into a routine. Plus, the other thing that you like as a coach, you get this schedule out. Then when you start to present this to your team as you go through training camp, you can get them prepared for what to look for with the altered schedule, because the thing that you don't want to do, that players don't like, professional athletes, here's what you don't like. You don't mind what the challenges are. You just don't want any surprises.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Mack with us, presented by Farm Bureau Health Plans. Coach Mack, when you talk about rookie minicamp and the opening opportunity for a rookie to make a name for himself at the facility, what is priority one for you as, let's just say, a position coach, bringing in a guy like Peter Skronsky or Will Levis for their first minicamp opportunity?
Well, the things that are most important are things that you won't see for a while. It's what goes on in the meeting rooms. I mean, that's the most important thing. I mean, you're on the grass, just for a short amount of time. I mean, that's the biggest thing that the amount of time that you have your rookies on the grass by themselves early on, the thing that you've got to be able to, as a coach, and it's hard, if that's the only time that, say the media or the press gets to see them, which, it's hard. You've got to be able to force yourself to not be an IE, not be an instant evaluator, because this is a process. But for the coaching staff, the time in the meeting rooms, what nobody else gets to see unless you're on the inside of it, is to start getting these guys into a preparation, of being a professional. That's the most important part. Then as you progress throughout, not only the rookie camp, but then you go, they'll be involved in phase 3 of the OTAs. Then you go into the mandatory minicamp. Then you break and you start going into training camp. What you want to see then is the way that they are able to start taking what you've taught and what they've learned in the meeting rooms, and see how they progress with that on the field. But that takes time. Just the instant part of it, the first time they come out of the doors there in a rookie minicamp. I mean, you've got to, if you've been around it long enough, that's what you see early is not exactly who they're going to be in their career, both on the positive and the negative side, because it's just too early for that to tell. But inside the building, that's really important when you start finding out really who's locked in, and you can tell pretty quick who is.
Coach Dave McGinnis, presented as always by Farm Bureau Health Plans, with us this morning on Ramon, Kayla, and Will. Coach Mack, thank you as always for making us smarter. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Guys, I'll be watching the schedule release. Mike Keith and I are doing something up there at St. Thomas Sports Park, as always. During the release, we'll find out just when you guys do, so looking forward to it.
Love it.
Sounds good, Coach.
Can't wait. There he is, Coach Dave McGinnis, with us this morning here on RKW, and we've got 3 games that have become official. As I sound choked up. I'm really sad about this. My throat caught there for a minute.
What is going on?
No,
Aaron
yeah.
Rodgers.
I had to clear my throat. 3 games have become official since we started talking to Coach Mack, including the season debut that we reported earlier. We didn't report it, but we said earlier, courtesy of Jordan Schultz of The Score. The 2023 season now will officially begin on Thursday night, September 7th, as the Lions visit the Chiefs. We assumed that. Now we know it for sure. Aaron Rodgers' debut as the starting quarterback of the New York Jets happens in prime time. I, for one, am shocked. Monday Night Football against the Buffalo Bills in Week 1.
Really?
Yep.
The 22nd anniversary of September 11th.
Okay.
Yep.
In New York. So that's New York against New York.
Wow.
Buffalo
That's crazy.
against the New York Jets. That one makes sense.
How they jumped the Giants because of Aaron Rodgers is there.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know
100.
if they're on the schedule.
But the Giants were on the forefront of it, though. This is what I'm saying as far as
Being
prime
like
time.
if they were going to
New
put the
York
Giants
team.
in
Wow.
somebody.
Yeah.
Well, they're both New York team.
That's pretty big.
But the Bills weren't in that conversation first time. I think the last time that happened was like Jets, Giants.
Right,
more
but
than
we don't know
Bills,
if the
Jets.
Giants are on the schedule for the
Right.
Giants.
Okay, yeah,
Right.
that's fair.
Or
As
for the
far
Jets
as-
are on the schedule for the Giants.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
I can check
It's
real
the
quick.
Jets, baby, from now on out, as long as they got Aaron Rodgers moan.
That blows my mind.
The
Aaron Rodgers.
the Jets actually do play the Giants this year.
Well, there we go.
So
that's our answer.
that's fair.
Yeah.
And then another game that was just released. These are all official from the NFL. In Week 5, Sunday Night Football, the Dallas Cowboys and the San Francisco 49ers. So our first Sunday night game released. All of these official from the NFL. 615-737-1045 is our number. Coming up next, it is 7:45, which means it is time to give away a ticket package to see Nashville SC face Inter Miami with us. And you're going to get a 1045 The Zone Nashville SC co-branded hat. Tickets all week until next Wednesday. We've got your first ticket up for grabs next right here. Moan, Kale, and Will, 1045 The Zone.
What's a great idea for a spectacular Mother's Day gift? Well, I have that answer, and it's Genesis Diamonds. You don't have just an ordinary mom in your life. She's the best, right? So show her with something she can enjoy for years, something from Genesis. Stop in this week and let one of Genesis' trusted advisors help you find a special, meaningful gift. Layering necklaces, stackable rings, eternity bands, pearls, elegant diamond pendants, and, of course, stunning diamond earrings. Great Mother's Day ideas for any budget. The cases at Genesis are packed for the occasion also. You can check out their colored gemstone jewelry and all the brand new designer pieces that just arrived. And you got to see the new collection of luxury pre-owned Rolexes. That's something she will love. Genesis has it all, though, at the right price. So whether it's her first Mother's Day or her 60th, mom deserves a gift that's anything but ordinary. And at Genesis, that's their specialty. Exquisite rings, earrings, bands, bracelets, heirloom pieces, you name it, they have it. Timeless gifts of jewelry that she can enjoy and cherish for decades to come, and always be reminded of how special she is to the family. So go to Genesis Diamonds, the only jeweler I recommend.
It's Ramon, Kayla, and Will, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors, as we've got our first ticket to give away to come watch the boys in gold with us next Wednesday night. Nashville SC taking on Inter Miami Club de Football.
Don't do that ever again.
So I can't do British or Spanish?
You can do, I'll let you do British only.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take that
You're
trade.
allowed. Well, but if the other things are French and Spanish, I'm going to let you do British.
Well, actually, you thought the French one was funny when it was Montreal.
Only because it was Montreal.
Montreal Club de
Yeah,
Football.
because it sounds like you're trying to
Sounds
swallow
like
your
you're
tongue.
gagging.
I want
Yeah.
that croissant.
It's like if a pigeon was trying to speak a foreign language.
Caller number 10.
Why number 10?
In honor of the MVP of Major League Soccer, Hani Mukhtar. Give a salute to that. Caller number 10 right now wins a 104.5 The Zone Nashville SC ticket bundle to join us, Ramon, Kayla, and Will, as Nashville SC takes on Inter Miami on Wednesday, May the 17th. Ticket bundle includes a ticket to the match, plus you're going to get a Nashville SC and RKW branded hat.
Yeah.
Sick.
Which is exciting. The hat will have our new logo on it, which we are excited to debut to the people next Wednesday. We'll probably do that Wednesday morning on the show to show the people what the logo looks like before the hat is given to the people on Wednesday night.
So we get to wear our hats in here?
I was just going to say.
I don't think the hat will be in here. I think we will have the logo in.
They will win the hat before we get a hat.
That's what I was
too,
gonna say.
So that's the bonus.
I don't
in
think
that,
that's
baby.
true. I think we'll probably get the hats at the game. Everyone will
Ah.
get the hats together.
I
At the
wanted
game.
mine to work early.
Which means it is time now for our MLS fun fact of the day.
Let's hear it.
As we get ready for Nashville SC and Inter Miami next Wednesday. Jonathan Schaefer talking to our many callers. And I believe he has a winner, which we will learn more about here shortly.
Lit up over there.
There is a team in Major League Soccer that plays its games at a baseball stadium in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Baseball stadiums, actually. Citi Field or Yankee Stadium, depending on the day. NYCFC has a famous first ever season ticket holder when they began play in the last decade. Who was NYCFC's first season ticket holder, a Hall of Fame athlete? Which Hall of Fame athlete was NYCFC's first ever season ticket holder?
Derek Jeter.
I was going with Jeets.
Okay, Derek Jeter's a good guess.
You changing it?
Yeah, give me.
Y'all can't both say the same thing.
Okay, I got it.
We were on the same.
Yeah, you got Jeter. Okay, I got
on the same.
Patrick Ewing.
Oh,
Kayla was closer, but neither of you are correct today.
dang.
You're both incorrect. The original season ticket holder, given number 42 in his account number, is the best closer in the history of baseball, Mariano Rivera.
He could have given us a hint with his closing
I said
song.
Hall of Fame.
You
Dang
did.
it.
I said Hall of Fame.
Only unanimous?
Dang
If I'm one of the few unanimous vote
Yeah.
getters, I think, for the Hall.
Yes.
We just talked about that, I feel like. Yes.
That's cool.
That's really cool, Will.
The only unanimous member of the Hall of Fame in the history of baseball.
A cold man. I went back and looked at some stuff. Whew, nice, Will. That was
Best
a good
closing
one.
music
you.
in
Yeah,
baseball.
yeah. Even you said that for a Yankee? Wow.
I know.
You okay?
I'm going to give you one bonus question because we can't end on a New York Yankee and the worst team in sports.
There we go.
Most hateable team in sports, I should say.
There we go.
What former U.S. men's national team player is the Tom Brady of MLS with the most ever MLS Cup championships? What former U.S. men's national team player is the Tom Brady of MLS with the most MLS Cup championships?
Why am I, he played in Seattle? Am I right? Dempsey?
Incorrect.
Will I am?
Okay.
Are we doing this? Are we playing the birthday game like we used to?
Welcome back,
Mo?
Jonathan Schaefer.
Yeah, that sounds
This
familiar.
is for the if you know crowd listening to the show right now.
That was so funny, though.
Jonathan Schaefer.
Literally, the first thing I hear when I get off the phone, Will I am?
I'll ask Schaefer our first question since he was on the phone with our winner.
Hell.
Who was the first ever season ticket holder of NYCFC? Hall of Fame athlete who was the first ever season ticket holder officially of NYCFC.
Which sport?
Well, I didn't give them a hint, so I can't give you a hint.
Yeah.
Well, no, I thought you said Hall of Fame. It could be a Hall of Fame of anything.
Hall of Fame athlete. Yeah.
That's all we got.
Got to be a New York base.
I'm guessing the Yankees.
Interesting.
That's gonna. I don't know if that helps me or not.
It does.
I'll tell you their guesses.
Maybe. What are their guesses?
Ramon's guess was Patrick Ewing. Kayla's guess was Derek Jeter.
That's good. I think. I don't know. Mariano Rivera. Maybe?
Oh, winner!
Hey!
Winner!
Hey!
There we go.
Well done.
There we go.
So we've had a winner today.
Can I let you know something about that?
What's that?
Yeah, I heard that while I was answering the phone, so I'm going to answer.
The question they have not yet answered
Dang it.
that you will 100% know
Tar
this
and
one.
feather him.
Which player has the most?
Hold on. You said "Well, I am." You don't get to talk for the rest of the segment. Please go ahead.
Which player has the
Go
most
play with
MLS
your fuzzy balls on the table.
Cup championships?
Who has the most what?
Plush balls.
Which player has the most MLS Cup championships? Kayla guessed Clint Dempsey. Ramon guessed nothing.
I'm going to say Donovan.
He is awarded 0 points. Jonathan Schaefer's 2 for 2 today, ladies
There
and
you
gentlemen.
go. Well, one of them he heard.
The player with the most MLS Cup
Donovan.
championships.
Yes, Landon Donovan.
Legendary U.S. Landon Donovan has 6.
Yep. Dang it! I knew it was one of those guys. Damn.
6 MLS Cup championships for Landon. In the words of Ian Dart, go USA.
No, you're not allowed to talk. Shut
Go,
up.
go,
No.
USA.
You are banned.
Ramon's not allowed to talk as we go to hour 3 next on 104.5.
Will I am.
8 o'clock. Good morning. I'm Jonathan Schaefer from the Superbook.com sports desk. Our local coverage tonight. Rhett Bryan and Joe Hunk from 6 to 7. Then Westwood One's coverage from 7 to 9 of the NFL schedule release. Some games have already leaked out. We'll get to that in a moment. What we do know from yesterday, the Titans will face the Baltimore Ravens in London at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium coming up Sunday, October 5th. That is week 6. Local game time, 8:30. According to Jordan Schultz of The Score, the Chiefs will play the Lions to open the 2023 NFL season Thursday night, September 7th. The first Monday night football game will be the Bills at Jets on September 11th, which will be the 22nd anniversary of 9/11. Cowboys-Niners Sunday night football, October 8th, which is week 5. NBA playoffs, Warriors stay alive, defeating the Lakers 121-106, forcing a game 6. Knicks 112, Heat 103. Jalen Brunson, 38 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists to also force a game 6 in that series. Maple Leafs stay alive, 2-1 win over the Panthers. They avoid the sweep. Oilers 4, Golden Knights 1 in what turned into a physical game at the end. That series tied at 2 games apiece. Red Sox 5, Braves 2. Atlanta had its 3-game winning streak snapped. Nashville SC 2, FC Dallas nothing at Geodis Park last night, as the boys in gold advance to the round of 16 in the U.S. Open Cup. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
It is a beautiful Thursday morning in Music City, and it is Ramon, Kayla, and Will, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors on NFL schedule release day. We're going to do a lot of things on this show this morning. Here's what we're not going to do today or tomorrow. Game-by-game record predictions right here at 104.5 The Zone. Please tag us and anyone doing that so we can block them. With Ross Foster and Kayla Anderson. Jonathan Schaefer, our producer.
Yes, sir, she is the bee's knees, Kayla. And she covers your favorite teams, Kayla. Let her ease your worried mind.
My name is Will Bowling. Okay, so week 1, all right, I'm gonna make that one a win. Oh, week 2, oh, that's a tough road trip. That's a loss. Week 3,
that's a win.
That's a win.
That's a loss.
Week 4, oh yeah, we got them. That's a win.
That's a loss.
Oh, Jacksonville, week 6. Oh, you know, at the revenge game, I'm gonna make that one a win. Coming up tomorrow morning on radio stations and radio shows not named this one.
Don't watch local sports TV then, because we did that all the time,
That's
baby.
what I'm saying. Like, I enjoy the exercise.
Oh.
I enjoy the exercise.
Terrible.
No. Well,
Terrible.
we can do mock drafts to the moon and back,
I don't
man.
like those either.
I'd much rather do scheduled prediction wins and losses than I would mock drafts.
Well, let's be a little fair with this.
What?
No. Hold. Hey, don't jump off false start, okay?
Hey, don't make me get.
Calm down.
Make me get.
Do I got to ban you for another segment? Will I am.
You're right.
What we can do is we'll look through the schedule, and we can say what might be a win, what might be a troublesome game, and we'll go, with a very way too early, not in any way accurate prediction for the season. What we're not going to do is, I think that game's going to be a win, but we're not doing that. We can still go through and make predictions. Okay, now that I've clarified that for you, Will I am. Are you okay now with that clarification?
No.
Oh, you going to be boo-boo hurt now. Okay.
All right. Well, anyway.
All right.
No, he's going to get the
Oh,
puppet
no.
out there. Here he goes.
Yeah.
When all else fails.
Oh, you want to do a puppet war?
It's
Go ahead. No,
squeaky.
go ahead, because I'm equipped for that too,
My
baby.
hand will get tired.
Let's do
My hand
it. Your hand will get tired.
My hand will get tired.
Because you know what you do when you do this? I do this.
Yeah.
I swear, Will.
Please don't just start squeaking at each
give me
other
a
on this show.
bucket and a table. You hear me? Fill it with water, and we can take care of this man behind the
What?
glass.
So you can go and wash your car like you do all the time?
I'm
There you
telling
go. It's your favorite chore.
Don't
You
walk-
love to do it.
Don't walk in front of steps.
Yeah,
in
you know
front of
what?
me.
Man, you ain't handsome.
And you know what else?
You damn sure ain't cute.
All
Do
right.
you have a company wheelchair?
Hey, and guess what?
My turn.
Y'all done? Kayla, I think they're done.
Hey, Mo.
Yeah,
Moan?
I guess I got sidetracked here.
Moan, I'm sorry.
All right, I'm sorry too.
Anyway, it is stupid to me. I'm going to use the stupid word. It's stupid to me
Do it.
to do a game-by-game win-loss exercise when like 75% of the roster is made. Maybe.
That's true.
We don't know who's on the team yet.
But it's fun, though.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Let's have the right amount of fun. Let's have the right kind of fun.
So
on
can
this
we
show.
have 75% of the fun then, since it's 75% of the roster?
I will allow it.
Okay, thank you.
I almost think though 80% of the roster is already set most years, unless you're going through
Is
a
it
coaching change.
75%? It's about right.
Yeah, I would say like we can probably slide in starters right now.
So we should do 3/4 of the game predictions.
That's fair. That's fair because it's probably how right we're going to be is only 25% though. That's that last 25% we need.
I just think it's lazy.
I'm
For
with
what
you
we
on
do.
that.
When
Yeah, I'm with you
we've
on
got
that.
4 hours to dissect everything.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend I'm not trying to be disrespectful to people who are going to do that, to each their own.
Yeah.
It's not for me.
Yeah, for sure.
I think what I like about it is I do like going down the list and kind of saying, okay, what AFC South team, now that we're in this situation where there's 3 teams that are kind of battling for spots after Jacksonville, who everybody's putting up at the top, what schedules and kind of looking at wins and losses and then comparing, okay, who could legitimately be the top of the division, the bottom of the division.
Oh, yes.
I kind of like to do that, just not going game by game by game,
Right.
but overall.
But I think it's also this too. Like as a team, we used to be able to. Well, I'll say this in the O-line room. I don't even put it on the entire team. We used to just look at the season, and be like, look, we got a 6-game stretch, y'all. And I distinctly remember Munch telling us, fellas, get your minds together. This next 6 weeks, we need 4 of these 6. We want all 6, but if we can get all of them, I'll take them. Y'all got to get it together. We don't need any partying. We don't need you out here excessively drinking. Get your sleep, and let's be on top of our game plan. And we ended up coming out clean on one of those stretches we ended up having, just simply because we looked at the quarterbacks, we looked at division rivals within 6 weeks, and it was just like a West Coast travel, too, which we lost that game.
Is primetime really something where players are like, yeah, that's right, primetime? Like, do they
Taylor,
get
it's
excited
real.
when you see that on the schedule?
It's very real. Do you understand me? Like I loved looking at the schedule and saying, okay, how many prime times do we have? Because it's everything that you think of as a child. Like that was my biggest thing. It's like I saw these guys on Monday Night Football, and I'm one of these guys right now. Like it's just like backyard. And I'm gonna use a baseball reference because everybody plays baseball for the most part, right?
Yeah.
Everybody does, but you play this in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
Bottom of the ninth, 2 strikes, 2 on base, down by 1, home run. That's what it's like. You get an opportunity to live that out right there, and that's what we were looking forward to, man. So that 6-game stretch, I'll tell you who it was. It was 2017. We went 13-3 that year. We knew we had really good. We had a really good chance of being good. We had Kansas City, Cincinnati, Detroit, at Indy, Titans, and Packers. And Bengals again. Like that's
I remember that Titans-Steelers game.
Yeah.
That was Thursday Night Football.
Yep, it was.
Because they debuted the Skycam as the primary camera in that game.
Oh, yeah.
And they had the Madden camera where it looked like you were playing the video game. And I hated it.
Yeah.
I absolutely hated it. I think Marcus had at least 2 interceptions in that game.
Yeah.
That was not a good game for Marcus Mariota.
That was
2017 Titans-Steelers.
Yeah.
If you were-
Steelers won that game.
That was
Yeah, they did.
Night I cut my dear friend Wesley Woodyard. Cut the hell out
Did
of
you?
him, Kayla. Oh my God. Cut him so bad. We always butt heads. And at that
Yeah,
point
your
in the
relationship
season,
with him is great.
it is, but he came downhill at me and I dove down his leg. He was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Wes, I'm not finna hit you."
Do you
right now."
crap talk? Did you crap talk him?
Kayla, oh my God.
Sorry, I didn't. I had to
Well,
PG
of
it
course,
down.
but-
You know.
Hey, look, it was yeah.
Just what it said, trash talk.
Good word exercise is what it was with me and Wes. Yeah, real good.
That game ended 40-17 in favor of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I was right. Marcus Mariota had 4 picks. in that game.
It was a powder blue jerseys.
Yep.
Color Rush.
Color Rush, all black versus all blue, right?
Yeah.
Black and blue.
Antonio Brown had 3 touchdowns, 10 catches for 144. Derrick Henry had 7 carries in that game. 7 carries for 32 yards. Rashard Matthews, Titans legend, led the Titans in receiving that day with 5 catches for 113 and a touchdown.
That's
You know what the conversation was? Don't let Derrick get started.
And he didn't.
And he didn't in that game.
And look what happened. The Titans lost.
I see. For me now, I hate the sky cam because when I watched the sky cam, it was Marcus throwing so many picks, and so my vision of the sky cam, it's kind of like when you're watching a basketball game. Sometimes they do the diagonal shot, the corner shot, and they do it for like a full possession. You're like, hey, just switch it back, I feel like no one has ever made a basket when they're shooting from the corner. No. It's like because it's all about us, obviously, the viewer. If my perspective as the viewer is changed, then bad things happen. I don't know why you get that feeling, but it's like every time it's shot from the corner, you're going to miss a shot. And then every time it's on the sky cam, you're going to throw a pick.
Mm-hmm.
What was that? College basketball, I think, when they did it from the base
from the base of the Jumbotron.
What was that? It was so awful.
It was a Kentucky game, wasn't it?
It might have been.
It was like Kentucky, Mississippi State in like 2017 or something.
But that's the worst I've ever seen, angle-wise.
Yeah. The worst angle I saw was Louisville's player that cracked his leg. That one, you remember that corner shot of that one? Oh, my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
That was bad.
Yeah, I'm not sure which game that was. I mean, it had
do you
to
remember
be
that, though, Will?
No, I 100% do. It was an SEC game because I remember watching it and being like, what in the world am I watching right now?
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah, bro.
And it didn't last but one game.
I don't know. I feel like these are just things that don't need to be changed.
Yeah.
Or have a separate subscription for the ones that do want to view it
like
that way.
ESPN does for their game casts.
Yeah.
Amazon Prime for Thursday Night Football. You can do the All 22 broadcast with the AWS advanced stats.
I did not know that.
And doesn't LeBron have a little...
Yeah.
He does also?
The shop.
The bar. Yeah, the shop.
He did that for Titans Packers last year, actually.
Yep.
I had no idea that was the case. Yeah. Manning cast back this year too, I'm guessing?
Should be.
That should be a staple now, right?
Yeah, there haven't been any announcements on that yet, but should be.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't watch Manning cast now that Joe Buck and Troy Aikman are there.
I'm with you.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes the conversation distracts me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I rather watch the game. And that's no offense to Peyton and Eli. I think they do a really good job, but I'm listening to more of the conversation. I'd much rather have conversation with y'all than to hear them have conversation about the game. Those stories are cool that they tell, so I get it.
If there's a good guest, I'll switch over, you know?
Yep.
But I'm with you.
Coming up next, the network affiliations for NFL games this year reportedly will not be as weird as we thought. As we get clarity from network executives and from the NFL on what this is going to look like this season. We'll give you the details on that. We'll also ask the question to you, the listener, at 615-737-1045. How many primetime games will the Titans have in 2023? 615-737-1045. We'll share our thoughts with you once again as Hour 3 continues here. It's Ramon, Kale, and Will on NFL Schedule Release Day right here on 104.5 The Zone. Hey, it's Will Bowling here for my friends at Lee Company. The weather has been heating up these past couple of days, so you might be asking the question, maybe with it in the mid-80s yesterday, is it time to replace your air conditioning unit? Well, if the answer is yes, odds are you probably found out in the last 48 hours, and it's time to call the expert team at Lee Company today and ask them about their current special financing offers. Your heating and air conditioning system not only keeps your home comfortable year-round, it's also going to help enhance the quality of air around you and for your loved ones as well. So don't wait until your old system breaks. Have Lee Company take a look today. And right now, you can get $1,250 off the price of a new air conditioning unit. That's right, $1,250 off. So give them a call at 615-567-1000. Visit them online at leecompany.com. That's 615-567-1000. Lee Company, all you need. Thursday morning on Ramon, Kayla, and Will, and it's powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors. When trust matters, count on All Four Seasons Garage Doors here in Nashville. Professional garage door installation and repair from a locally owned and family-run business. Visit them online at allfourseasonsgarages.com/Nashville. At Ramon, Kayla, Will is where you can follow the show on Twitter, and we ask the people, how many primetime games will the Titans be scheduled to play this season? Each of you are taking more than me because my guess is one.
Mm-hmm.
Just Thursday night?
My guess is one Thursday night game.
Okay.
I gave them 3. I said they get a Thursday night, they get a Monday night, and I can see them getting a Sunday night too.
Okay.
I got 3.
I got 2, so I'm going to go with the Thursday, and I'm going to give them a Monday.
Thursday and a Monday?
Yeah.
That's fair. I like the odds of them getting 3 this season just because of the storylines too, especially if Levis get in the mix too. I know that's the conversation. That's probably the determining factor right there.
That's
also.
what they want.
You better believe it. Controversy.
Mm-hmm.
Want to go back quickly, too, to something Coach Mack said about the London thing and the accommodations that you have out there. Did you play internationally in your career?
Mm-hmm. I played in London.
Is it nicer staying out there than it is in the United States? Like, do they give you upgraded amenities because they want you to talk better about the international games?
Oh, yeah. The practice facility that we were at in London wasn't that great, but practice is practice. Like, it wasn't like it was like our facility with showers and everything. And it's an inconvenience being on the bus. So everything outside of the practice aspect of it is beautiful, though, Will. I will say that. The hotels is great. Being able to maneuver around the city if you want to is really good. But this is the other portion of it, too, Will, Kayla, listeners, is you're on such a time constraint because you still have meetings. You still have stuff to do. Like, there's a schedule. You're there for a game. Hotel, amazing. The host, Will, amazing as far as like how they accommodate you. So, yes, that is awesome. I don't hate that I was a starter. I love that portion of it. But the non-starter guys, they be out late having dinner, going to places and stuff. You remember the Jaguar situation when they had a few guys get kicked out?
Oh, yeah.
Remember that one a few years back, if I'm not, maybe about 6-7 years ago? So there is stuff to do, but it's still a business trip.
How early do you get there for at least what did you guys do? Because I think Mac was saying there's always difference.
Coach Tomlin's a sicko, okay.
Oh, no surprise.
Real quick. But he put us on like the most exact time just constraint ever. We flew, I think, late at night, got there that morning, and went straight to the practice facility. So that's why it's really a little bit of a damper to me. There's not much time. So we got there, landed, checked into the hotel, went straight to practice.
On
right
a Thursday,
after that.
Friday?
Thursday.
Okay.
Yep.
Thursday.
I think it's, 48 hours to acclimate really most times?
Yep.
That's exactly what he gave us.
So that was in 2013 when you guys played the Vikings.
Yeah.
Is when that was. What was Wembley like?
It was phenomenal.
Really?
Yeah, I love the turf.
Interesting.
I love the turf. The grass that was tight and like the roots are really rooted in. I loved it. Like,
yeah.
The platform of it was awesome. And the way the stadium bows out on each end, I thought it was really good. But this is the thing. Whoever's winning is who they're going to cheer for. And it's nonstop noise the entire time because there's no allegiance. I was thinking, well, we were 0-3 at the time. Actually ended up being 0-4. I was thinking to myself, like, oh, man, we're the Steelers and we're going to be the ones that draw the crowd. No, I saw more Jags. I saw more Giants. I saw more Dallas. I saw more Tampa than any of the Minnesota. Well, Minnesota had a good following at the time because of the horns and everything that they do.
Ooh.
It was a pro-Minnesota. It was a pro-Minnesota crowd.
I love how Moan goes in. He's like, we're the Steelers. You know, we're going to have that fan base. That's actually surprising to me.
Trip me out. No, they don't have a stronghold. Now, you go to Mexico City. That's a different conversation there, okay? But London, no. That wasn't for us.
You didn't play there, did you?
Mexico, no, it did a camp there. Yeah,
okay.
It did a camp there. They just recently did it over. I think the Titans should do that, man.
I think that'd be cool.
Awesome. Mexico City is really cool.
Yeah.
It's dangerous. Too now. But cool.
That stadium is being renovated, which is the reason why there is no Mexico game this year.
Okay.
It's because Estadio Azteca is being renovated.
I got
what you got for us?
Our guy Q hit me real quick.
What's up?
He just you sticking with one.
Sticking with one?
Yes,
Yeah, I'm
because
sticking
he's
with
giving a prize out for who guessed the mini
Q's
prime
giving a
time.
prize
Oh, okay. Hold on a minute.
right.
Jonathan Schaefer, the stakes have been raised.
The stakes have been
Wait,
raised.
what? I was talking to Bert. Go ahead.
Q, Texas.
Our guy from Nathan
Rose.
Nathan Rose, shout
And
out.
said whoever gets it right gets a gift between us three, a car from him at 8th and Rose, and on Titans games.
What the? Look
He
at
said
Q
between
coming up
y'all
big.
three gets a car from 8th and Rose on him on the Titans games.
Oh, I thought you said a car.
No, card.
I'm just joking.
No, I
I'm
thought
just
he did say
You get a
car,
gift
actually.
card to 8th and Rose on how many prime
I
time
like
games.
it. Okay.
All
Now,
right.
depending
I'm tempted
on
to change my answer now.
All right. But here's the problem is that I don't
'Cause you
know
visit
I don't know
there
what the
often.
question is.
How many primetime games the Titans will get?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
You
I
guys
said three.
I had said I did say 3 earlier. I'm going to stick with 3.
So we'll know tonight, and we
So
can
all of you
celebrate.
said 3 except for me.
I
Hale
said
said
2.
two.
Oh, okay, I said 2. Okay. I'll stick with 1.
You stick with
Okay.
one?
Well, it's
Yep.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ramon picked 3, but I'm not moving on. That's the number I truly think
Sure.
it's going to
Okay.
be. is 3.
Yeah.
So the winner of the correct primetime games
But
gets
what
a
if
gift
we're all
card to
wrong?
8th and Rose.
What if we're all
Ooh,
wrong?
nothing.
And then it's all.
Boom, 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 boom.
And then it's the cliffhanger.
That's why we should ask the listeners.
So if it's 4, then Schaefer would win, and if it's 0, then I would win.
Oh, we're going to play Price is Right rules?
I mean, if we're all wrong, but then whoever's closest,
Whoever closest.
because the only ways we could be wrong is if it's 0 or 4 plus.
That's true. Yeah.
So whoever's closest at that point.
Yeah, and we can't do Price is Right rules because then we'd all be over if it was 0. So
And there's
yeah.
there's
That'd be
a
sad.
very low chance of it being 0,
it's-
and there's a low chance of it being 4.
It's
That'd be
next to
sad.
0 that it's going to be 0.
Yeah, right.
Right.
He said,
There's always a chance.
what's crazy, you frequent there more often than
Oh,
us.
I'm there all the time.
He said, Will is definitely wrong.
Hey, well, let me ask the
He knows I'm
other.
spending my money there either way.
Let me ask the other member of the show. How many do you think there, Smokey? That's too many.
6.
That's too
Wow.
many.
Like
That's
6?
too many.
That's interesting.
Oh, wait. They came back with a different answer. Smokey thinks 1.
Okay.
One.
He's with you, Will.
As usual, I'm with Smokey.
There have been years where it's just a Thursday night.
Yeah.
Yes.
For a while. I mean, that's what I'm saying is the Titans era that I have grown up in. It was, you got used to one primetime game. Like, all right, this is your one. Let's go.
There's a little bit of BTS coming out right now.
No, it's just, this is what I'm used to when the Titans are not expected to be a contender. Because
They
even
lost
when
7 in a row.
the Titans are expected to be a contender, they still only got 3 a year ago. Monday night against the Bills, Thursday night against the Packers, and Thursday night against the Cowboys.
As a contender.
And then Saturday night against the Jags was added. So we'll count that as 4. But
No, but this is
on
initial.
schedule release, right.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
initial schedule release, the Titans had 3 last year.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, Will.
Yeah.
He may be closer to 1 than I thought, man. Wow.
Mr. Two-Tone Blue on Twitter asks, is the London game considered a primetimer? No, it is not.
No.
It's
Yeah,
not.
I just replied to him and said that that's excluded.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
Yeah.
excluded.
Good question. I
Yeah.
kind of had the same one.
To me, though, the London game is a factor in the Titans only getting one primetime game because the NFL, even though it's not a primetime game, is propping you up to center stage and putting you in your own time slot,
Yeah.
even though it's 8:30 a.m. Central Time. That is its own time slot where you have the entire national audience, really world audience watching.
Yep.
So I think that to the NFL in their eyes does kind of count as one,
That's a good point.
even though it doesn't for our purposes count as a primetime game.
You know what I notice here?
What's
Throwing
that?
any prize to us and the competition gets really intense.
Well, of course.
It really.
When the best coffee in Nashville is up for grabs, then
And
we're going to
pastries.
get serious.
Then it's getting patient. You're right. It really got serious there. Like Will's case now, I'm starting to believe it a little bit more. Like, golly, I shouldn't
You're
have said
sticking
that.
with
You're locked
3.
in.
But
now,
I'm
buddy.
sticking. I'm locked
Yeah.
in now. I'm trying to get this card.
A
Maybe
Sunday night against Kansas City last year, too. Thank you, Gary, on Twitter.
Sunday night against KC.
So there were 4 last year.
Okay, yeah, that's it. And not late afternoon. We're talking prime
Prime time.
time.
Talking 4 o'clock.
7:30 and later.
Titans started the season late afternoon a year ago against the New York Giants.
But late afternoon isn't prime time.
No, that's not
No.
prime.
I used to view that as prime time.
I honestly, I kind of suppressed the Kansas City game because that was, it was in a busy part of the calendar also, but that was just a different game. That felt like it was just a one-off thing because it was Malik Willis against Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Those 4 o'clock games, though, guys, those get a lot of eyes because usually it's like at that point, the only one on.
Only one of 2 or maybe 4, but it's yeah, you're right.
Those get a lot of eyes.
I enjoyed those because I can get my nerves out of the way. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm calm now. That team lost. We're in a good position. Like, I used to play that game a lot. Everything I did was all mental, man. I mean, I need to go talk to somebody. I do.
It panned out well.
I
mean,
know.
you were there 11 years.
I know, but I everything was a challenge almost. Like, goodness gracious. Like, Mom, you really played a mental wrestling with yourself all the time. Probably too much.
I'm with you.
You're the same way with that type of stuff?
Yeah.
Well, gosh.
The thing I want this year is a primetime home game. That's what I care about more. I would rather have less games in primetime, but they be at home, than all the primetime games being on the road.
Yeah.
Like they were last year, with the exception of Dallas on Thursday night, the 29th.
Yeah.
With Josh Dobbs making his first career start.
That's why you said Falcons could possibly be
right.
one of those.
That's why I am personally rooting for Arthur Smith versus Mike Vrabel in primetime.
That would be beautiful.
In Nashville.
I'd love that.
That game went pretty well for the Titans the last time they saw the Falcons, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That was the A.J. Brown coming out party in 2019.
You see the poll results already?
I've not seen the poll results yet.
Yeah, if you got time, I'd rather you read them out on here just so we can see where the crowd is slanted at. It's very interesting. Wow. Did not expect this. If you hadn't checked out our Twitter also, at Ramon, Kayla, and Will, Shafe asked the question, how many primetime games will the Titans be scheduled to play this season? And results are, Will?
In favor of you.
I'm winning.
Mm-hmm.
Not a competition, but I'm winning.
I kind of feel bad with the Titans fan base right now because it's a little bleak this morning when it
It
comes to
is.
the primetime games. And I'm not sure if it's being realistic or if it's being negative. I'm not sure where it falls on
A little bit of
those
both.
two.
A little bit of both.
There's a little BTS coming up.
Or maybe not trying to get too ahead of the horse.
I'm going to say it. Can I say it?
Uh-oh.
Can I say it?
I don't know what you're going to say yet.
I'm going to say
so
it just
go ahead
because I
and
feel
tell
like
us.
it needs to be said right now before we dive deeper into the season. Is this embracing the underdog mentality?
I don't think it
Where
is,
if you
no.
don't get too hype about it, then you're better off surprising people?
That's not really been the case for a lot of this fan base in the past.
Okay.
Because I think we as Titans fans should embrace the underdog mentality more. As Ron Slay points out, Cuzzo Mike, our good friend, Just Mike, who calls into the show frequently,
Just Mike,
has been standing on this platform for quite some time. I will give him credit for having that opinion. But this is a conversation I've been having with friends of mine all the way back to high school and college, where my friends are like, why can't we ever get the flashy, the cool slots? Who cares? Who cares?
Yeah.
The history of this franchise has been better when they have been under the radar.
Yeah.
When they've been the one seed and they've had home playoff games, they haven't been successful. Give me underdog all day.
It took me a while to understand that conversation. It really did. Like I just embraced it like last year sometime. And because I'm like, as a competitor, you don't live that life, but as a fan, you do. And I think that's this perspective I had to take when it comes down to saying, hey, we're better as underdogs. Don't talk about us. Like, because the moments in which I expected a lot, you'd be like, man, how you lose that game? Or you have a game like Green Bay last year, man, flipping this thing over, let's go.
Yep.
Boom, your OC catch a case. You know what I'm saying? And then it's 7 games from there on out, and then you lose your quarterback. Then the guy that you think is going to be your savior, Malik Willis, don't become your guy in that moment. So I get it. And then you have Josh Dobbs at the end of the year. Yeah, we
Have
got
a little more
another one.
life. Yeah.
Woo! Don't sign him back. Woo! You know what I'm saying? So I get it, Will. I'm starting to, but I don't want to live that life.
Let's go to the phone lines. Public enemy number one in Kansas City has joined us. Ali is on the phone lines. Or you could join us at 615-737-1045. What's up, Ali?
What's up, guys? How are y'all? All right, so I got. This is my reasoning why I want this number of primetime games. Horrible mentality, but I won't say it. I want 0, due to the fact when the NFL sleeps on the Tennessee Titans, they always sneak in to the playoffs. They always upset the teams that they're not supposed to be upsetting. Let's take that underdog mentality into the season. Give us no primetime games. Let the league sleep on the Tennessee Titans. And then at the end of the year, they're going to be right there to shove it up your face.
Okay, Ali, hold up real quick. As Will called you public enemy number one in Kansas City.
Yeah.
But I know your day job, it puts you in a position to where when the new stadium comes in, they're going to want to come here often. Are you going to allow them in or not, Ali?
Absolutely.
Because you know there's going to be a hot ticket for all eyes on the new unveiling of the Tennessee Titans Stadium, whatever it's going to be now.
Yeah, I mean, let's just hold off all our primetime games till the new stadium opens.
Sure.
I'm totally fine with that.
We're on the 4-year wait list right now?
Exactly, yeah, that's perfectly fine. Jacksonville went through that. Let's do that too.
This is fair. I'm with you on that.
Fantastic. Thank you, Ali.
Thanks, Ali. He said 0.
That's great.
All ones, boy. That'd be an early Sunday.
Get that chip on your shoulder.
Yeah.
At Ramon Kayla Will, where you can vote on the poll. How many primetime games will the Titans get? 64% of the vote is for 1.
Yeah, it's a lot.
29% for 2, 4% for 3, 1.6% for 4 or more.
6% for 3. It's looking real bleak for you, boy,
That's
right
what I
now,
was just
man.
gonna say.
No, you could end up being right.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, you
Shaq.
guys
What
still-
we thinking?
You guys could still win.
As the Titans fan on this show for my entire life,
Yeah.
I can relate to the way people are voting to this so far.
I see.
I get it.
You're really in a calm right now.
Well, the thing is, I would get so excited going to school as a kid of like, guys, Code Blue Monday Night Football tonight.
No,
I'd
you're
be
just
like singing the Monday night. It was a big deal.
You were just excited going to school, which explains so much.
That's actually not true at all. I did not go there to play school, but I would like it, then the petitioning would begin of like, Mom and Dad, like, can I stay up late enough to watch the primetime
like
game
miles.
tonight? Like, legitimately, like that would start the second I got home of like, oh, got all my homework done. I'm good. Hit me up.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I wonder. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You wonder what?
No, I was just saying. I wonder how many Monday Night Football games in a row they've had. Like every year, have they had? I'm just that came off the top of my brain. I was just thinking since I've been here, I remember covering a Monday night game. So that'd be crazy. Like if this is the first year in a while that they don't have a Monday night game, which could be a possibility. Like Will said, maybe their prime time's that Thursday if they get one.
Could be. What I was going to say, too, to that point about Monday nights and prime time, though, the comments under the survey, under the poll, is even more hilarious.
Oh, is it?
Though. Oh, my.
I haven't even read them yet. I'll have to go.
The
There's
Titans
like
are-
a 0.
The Titans all time are 25 and 21 on Mondays
That ain't bad.
in history.
Okay. Yeah.
Despite losing 1, 2, 3, 4, their first 6 games, the Houston Oilers in the 60s lost their first 6 games ever
Okay.
on Monday Night Football.
I think they broke an 11-game skid against the Indianapolis Colts on a Monday night.
They did. That was against Jacoby Brissett, and I
Yeah.
skipped class to be there.
There you go.
Did you really?
I was in college, but I had a Monday night class. I had a 3-hour Monday night class. It was a video production class, and all 3 hours were just on Monday night from like 3 to 6. And they would give you a break halfway through the class, and I left during the break.
I would have too.
I just didn't return.
And look what you got to
Sorry,
see.
Mom and Dad, if you're listening.
They had a Monday night 2017. I'm going through. I'll
Yeah,
get all
it's
these
just
answers
interesting.
Later.
Your mom just texted me. She's so disappointed.
Shoot.
Uh-oh.
Coming up next, we continue the conversation. Take your phone call, 615-737-1045. We'll recap all the games we know for sure are happening at a certain time as the NFL begins to leak this thing out this morning. Coming up as we continue on Ramon, Kayla, and Will, 104.5 The Zone.
Cheer on the boys in gold with 104.5 The Zone and Arcade Dub. That is coming up May 17th, Wednesday of next week. Get a 104.5 The Zone Nashville SC versus Inter Miami CF ticket bundle for $35. The ticket bundle includes a ticket to the match, a Nashville SC 104.5 The Zone, and Arcade Dub hat, and more. Listen to Ramon, Kayla, and Will. That's us. For more details, purchase your tickets today, 1045thezone.com.
That is right, Jonathan Schaefer. You can get a ticket and you can come have a fun night with us next Wednesday.
Yeah. Go on the field after the game, correct?
That's right.
Yep.
Go on the field with us. If you haven't been on a soccer field that's at the professional level either, Ramon mentioned it in playing in Wembley. Imagine the best outfield grass in Major League Baseball, and it's basically just like that. Mm-hmm. It's very, very nice.
It is. You mentioned in Tottenham Stadium, the hydraulic system. What are you talking about with that? I got to look that. I'm on YouTube.
They have
That's
different layers of fields underneath one another, and they can take the field apart with hydraulics.
That's insane.
And so the soccer pitch goes out, and then it drops below the field, and they raise up the football field.
That's incredible.
The football field right now is sitting below the pitch.
How old is that stadium?
2019 is when it was debuted.
Okay.
Middle of the 2019 season, because Tottenham started their 2018-19 campaign in Wembley.
Okay.
Which is not far away, because they're in North London, where the Titans will be playing. It's really cool. That's becoming a thing now that I think is going to be the new norm for places that have a lot of concerts as well. There are a lot of concerts at Tottenham, too. Is you can just totally take apart the field and raise up a different platform. That way you're not hurting the grass itself and you don't have to resod it.
Makes
Smart.
sense.
Let's go to Bubba and Dixon. Up next, 615-737-1045. What's up, Bubba?
What's up, Bubba?
Good morning. Good morning. Just sitting here listening to you guys. Will, I've got to know. You just think one primetime game?
I do.
See, I hate agreeing with Ramon, and he knows that.
Oh, this is very true.
But I say at least two, my friend.
Okay.
At least
So you would
two,
be agreeing with
three,
me.
I say at least two, but I'm on the verge of three because I think that Falcons is the toss-up game. I mean, you got to think, Bengals and Jags, those have to be primetime games. Titans, Bengals, great. Titans, Jags, you got to have it because they're going for the championship of their conference. Now Falcons is the toss-up. I don't think anybody else. Panthers, Chargers. Sorry, Kayla. Seahawks is not getting it
That's
done.
all right.
Steelers, yeah. Hey, Ramon, no chance. But yeah, so it's got to be two. I got to go with two, but I want to go with three. So Ramon, if you want to help me here, convince me that three's the best, but I think two, man. Two's the way to go.
I got three because I think they're due a Sunday, a Monday, and I look at one more game, whether that be Bengals. I won't front. I'm willing to throw Miami in there. I don't know why I feel like Miami's a primer for this team, but I see that being a late night game.
Ryan Tannehill revenge game storyline.
If he's still playing.
Early in the season, Miami late at night too. I can see that being the case. I see you definitely chose violence.
Sorry.
Yeah. That's those are the ones I see being primetime games for this team.
I'm sorry. I had to. It's
No, you don't apologize.
possibility,
and it's
right?
also the Trevor Lawrence effect too.
Yeah, the Titans have already had Tannehill's already played the Dolphins once
When was that?
as a Titan.
Yeah, I don't know, but
New Year's Eve or New Year's 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yep.
Do you legitimately remember that?
Yep.
Nerd.
yeah, that's my guy.
Titans won that game, and Tua Tagovailoa had a terrible performance in that game at the end of the 2021 season. Yep.
And by the way, Kayla asked that question too before the break about how many Monday night games have the Titans have. They've had more Monday night games than they not had them as of recently. 2018, we spoke about it off air. Well, they had 2 that year. 2019, they got none, but the year after, they got another Monday night game. 2017, they had one that night too. So you get them, which is why I'm banking on this being one of the prime times.
All right, I'm going to go rapid fire. Every game we know is happening.
Okay.
Released by the NFL.
Yes.
Kickoff game of the season, Lions at Chiefs. Week 1, Monday Night Football on the 22nd anniversary of September 11th in New York, Bills at Jets. Week 4 in London, Falcons, Jags. Week 5 in London, Jags, Bills. Week 6 in London, Ratbirds and Titans.
Yeah.
Weeks 9 and 10 in Germany, you have Dolphins, Chiefs, followed by Colts, Patriots. Black Friday game, which, by the way, I saw the other day that Amazon Prime bid an additional $100 million in their deal with the NFL in order just to be able to do Black Friday.
My goodness.
Front Office Sports tweeted that out yesterday. $100 million to buy one game. That is the most expensive Black Friday purchase in the history of Black Friday.
And
I'm
you
willing to say.
wonder why Roger Goodell ain't gonna get fired.
And it won't be returned.
No, it will
Yeah.
not. I hope they kept the receipt. If Dolphins Jets ends up being a bad game. Week
Gift
13, you have 49ers and Eagles. Christmas Day on Nickelodeon, Raiders Chiefs, followed by Giants Eagles. And week 17, New Year's Eve, you have Bengals Chiefs, which, by the way, we are a couple of years away when we expand the playoff from having Wednesday night followed by Thursday night quarterfinals in college football, which is then followed by Saturday, Sunday, Monday, wild card weekend. Whoa. We will have football for an entire weekend from a Thursday through a Monday in 2 years.
Ultimate Sports Week is
Can't
what we're
wait for
calling
that.
it.
Yeah. And
Equinox.
means we don't work. Oh, it makes me so happy. Hour 4 coming up next. The Houston Texans signing one offensive lineman to an extension yesterday. The Tennessee Basketball Volunteers losing another player yesterday. Next, at the beginning of Hour 4 on 104.5 The Zone.
9:01. Good morning. I'm Jonathan Schaefer from the Superbook.com sports desk. While the full NFL schedule will be released tonight, our coverage with Rhett Bryan and Joe Hung from 6 to 7, Westwood One coverage beginning at 7 o'clock. We do know that the Titans will face the Baltimore Ravens in London at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium coming up Sunday, October 15th. That is week 6. Local game time start 8:30 that morning. The Chiefs will play the Lions to open the 2023 NFL season coming up Thursday night, September 7th. The first Monday night football game, Bills at Jets, September 11th. It'll be the 22nd anniversary of 9/11. Cowboys versus Niners, Sunday Night Football, October 8th, Week 5. NBA playoffs last night. Both the Warriors and Knicks survive, and they will have at least one more game in their respective series. Golden State 121, LA Lakers 106. That forces a Game 6. Knicks 112, Heat 103. Jalen Brunson, 38 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists. Also forces a Game 6. Maple Leafs forcing a Game 5, avoiding the sweep to the Florida Panthers 2-1. Oilers 4, Golden Knights 1. That series tied at 2 apiece. Red Sox 5, Braves 2 in Major League Baseball. Atlanta had its 3-game winning streak snapped. Boys in Gold in action last night in U.S. Open Cup play at Geodis. Nashville SC 2, FC Dallas nothing. Boys in Gold advance to the round of 16. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on here for the Titans and the Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Fourth and final hour of the show this morning on Ramon, Kayla, and Will, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors. Coming up in 20 minutes, our good friend Teresa Walker joins us. What she is most interested to see as the Titans schedule is released to the people tonight, as we give you the latest on games that are official or reported by significant people in the world of the NFL. And we've got another one that is being reported to tell you about, which has got some irony to it. Mm-hmm. Tell you what that is coming up in just a second. But first, he's Ramon Foster.
Yeah.
That's Kayla Anderson. Yep. And behind the glass, Jonathan Schaefer, making the show happen.
The best producer in the world! Of the world, Craig. The world.
Of the world. I'm Will Bowling, and coming up in week 2, this is fantastic. This is too much of a coincidence to be a coincidence. The Dolphins will visit the New England Patriots for Tom Brady night on Sunday Night Football. Can we confirm nor deny if Tom Brady will be playing for those Dolphins?
Oh, my. I love that.
Since they had to give up a first-round pick in order to tamper to try to get him.
I love that. Tom Brady night. Who actually set that up?
The Patriots.
Robert Kraft.
Well, it's just the Patriots honoring Tom. Is what they're going to do.
Well, of course. I mean, he said, I got in trouble in your city. I might as well have a party in my city. Get it?
Sure.
Ja, Memphis Grizzlies, party in my city.
Yeah.
Get it? Y'all like that?
I don't really think about John Morant and the Grizzlies that much. So
He going to have to do a whole lot of thinking after what I just told y'all off air. Goodness.
Losing some money.
Yeah, didn't make NBA any of the NBA, all NBA teams, and lost a substantial amount of money because of it. Tough.
Gotta live and learn.
So, yeah, there you go. Week 2, Dolphins and Patriots reported by Jordan Schultz of The Score. 615-737-1045 is the number. I do think the primetime game discussion and question we've been asking is a relevant one this year because it feels like there's going to be a shift in the national perception of this team. Now, we've told you all morning you shouldn't care about that, but I do think it is an interesting conversation this year because the 7-game losing streak will likely impact the way this team is covered coming up this season.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
Yeah, it is fair. You can't drop the ball the way they did. Like, if for anything, the NFL does not forget. You don't get propped up unless you go get a guy or become something that you weren't last year, just like the Jets. Aaron Rodgers' move made them reshift the scheduling. Like, think about that. The Titans don't have that right now. The spark plug that you have is a young guy that you hope becomes your franchise quarterback moving forward, but that's also in front of Ryan Tannehill. I mean, that's with Ryan Tannehill in front of him. So your point is valid, Will, with how you view them getting primetime games and stuff like that. That 7-game streak got to be corrected. Has to be.
The other thing that I thought was interesting when it comes to network affiliation, a Fox executive recently said that Fox and the NFC and CBS and the AFC still have appearance minimums per team that will keep the traditional conference affiliations relevant.
Okay.
So while NFL executives have said that all games are jump balls and all games are free agents, that's not necessarily the case because these networks still have minimums. So there is still an undisclosed amount of minimum times teams like the Titans and Texans and Colts and Jaguars of the AFC South will have to play on CBS.
Oh, wow.
So I would still expect there to be a majority of Titans games on CBS this upcoming season. I don't think it's going to be as much as there have been in the past. Mm-hmm. But there will be certainly still a majority CBS affiliation this year.
Okay.
Does it? I think you like it, Will, because it reminds you, and it's just a normal thing to happen. Like, if it is on Fox, the production of it bother you much at all? Like,
no.
It's just
Fox is better.
Fox is better.
Yep.
But CBS is what you're used to.
Yep.
Yeah. And I roll with that, too. Like, ABC, Sunday Night Football, like it's supposed to be there. You know what I'm saying?
CBS Music better. Fox Broadcasters.
Fox Broadcasters better.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you, if they hear you saying it out loud, Will, they're going to make a change. They're going to go poach some talent.
Well,
that's for doggone sure, man.
Not because I said it.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying in general.
But
I'll say this. Most times whenever you hear something, not just one person, it's multiples just like you that think the same thing. So
I got Iron Eagle on line 3 for you, Will.
Yep, see,
Ian is the best there is. Ian and Jim Nantz are my two favorites out of the whole league. I think the depth of what Fox has, it's more of a compliment to Fox than it is a slight to CBS. I'm probably more infatuated with Fox because I'm not as accustomed to it.
Okay.
So it's more of like, oh, this guy's pretty good. Whereas I've watched the same guys on CBS for years. It's a compliment. I think they've got a good young group of broadcasters, specifically Adam Amin and Joe Davis, two younger guys that I really like on Fox.
I just appreciate the broadcasters that get names correct, who pronounce things correctly. Because if you are on a national broadcast, I do not care. I know that there's mistakes made. I make them, you make them, we all make them. Mm-hmm. But when you are on a national level in a national broadcast, and that is your job, that is your game of the week, like, please just pronounce the names right. And that is the biggest thing for me. If you do that, I'm okay.
You're okay with that. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
But if you say Mariota, you shouldn't be on national TV.
Or Bayard.
Hey,
they've messed his name up so
a hit dog is going to holler. I am notorious for botching the name, but
you're not a national broadcaster on CBS and Fox.
I promise you I will study the roster sheet this year and make sure I get that right. Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, it was, I believe it was Al Michaels who said Bayard for like a while.
Mm-hmm.
Al Michaels did what?
Said Bayard.
Yeah.
Kevin Bayard. Like after the guy had been all pro. I mean, it's not great. It can't happen.
You know how I am with my name, too. Like, don't throw an E on there. Don't throw a name on.
You want to know you know how Ramon is with his name? I'll give you a hint.
Who the hell are you?
Yeah.
Ramon.
Yeah, right.
That's how you pronounce it.
Say my name. Ramon.
That's it.
What? Say my name. I don't have a damn clue.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do.
Do you respect the bad guy?
Ramon.
Yeah, Shay. That's a lesson.
That
we
should
do
be
this.
KB.
We do. Somebody in the chat earlier put an E at the end of my name. I'm like, if
I
you're
saw
on
that.
it, and I'm like, it says how to spell it. It's right there.
Well, the funny one for me is when people put an I in my last name.
Huh?
Like, yeah, people will spell it as Boiling.
Boiling.
Happens all the time.
Never in
Where do you
history.
think there's an I in bowling?
Well, you should see the chat when they spell my name. Kyla.
Well, I just don't look at the chat anyway.
That's Kyla.
That's fair.
There's no,
You've seen that before.
I have.
there's
seen
too
that.
much. There's too many screens in here already. I don't need another one with just scrolling all the time.
You got a lot going on. Both of y'all do.
We're trying to keep it between the navigational
I have all
beacons.
this stuff.
Navigation. That's such a cool term, and it really ain't nothing, but it is navigational beacons.
Texans and Shaq Mason are keeping it between the Beacons for 3 more years.
Mm-hmm.
3-year, $36 million contract with $22 million guaranteed, announced yesterday.
Yeah.
You like him?
I do like him. Good pickup for him, former Patriot. I think he ended up going to Tampa for a little spell,
He
too.
did.
Ends up going there and getting a nice contract. Also, by the way, Tennessee kid. Columbia,
that's right.
Tennessee.
Columbia.
Absolutely. I knew that, and I didn't know that about him for a while. Columbia Central, to be exact. That, to me, is a big-time pickup for them. They got to protect. They have to be able to keep guys on the field. Shaq Mason, say what you want to about him. I think New England just got to a point where they just started offloading guys when they realized where they were as a franchise. And him going there to get experience for a group that ended up having who's the young guy that went there a couple years, last year's draft? Give me 1 second. Well, I'll get you that.
What are you looking for?
Draft pick for the Houston Texans last year, the guard.
Kenyon Green, Texas A&M.
Kenyon Green. Yep, sure was. Him. So having a counterpart like that matters when you're looking at development of a line and trying to protect a young quarterback. So good move by him. Houston, I'm not going to root for him because screw Houston is how I feel about him.
Sure. Houston, we have a problem, and his name is Ramon Foster.
F the Colts.
Without an E. Shaq Mason, a 4th-round pick of the Patriots in 2015 when Texans general manager Nick Caserio was in New England. 2 Super Bowl rings with New England.
Yeah.
120 career games. One Tennessee note this morning, Julian Phillips, forward, has entered the transfer portal. That was released yesterday afternoon. That's the way this was trending from the beginning, was a similar situation to Olivier Comwa, where he has entered the NBA draft process while also entering the portal in order to keep his options open. Felt like that made sense once Chris Ledlam and Dalton Connect, the 2 transfer forwards, were added. So it makes sense.
It does. Savage, of course, of our basketball expert here at the station. Me personally, I look at this and I say probably lack of play, probably, Barnes system, but this is my thing. And I'm not saying Barnes system is bad or anything like that, but he didn't get a whole lot this year.
True.
So that transfer portal for him can be a situation where he'll go to a team that's going to let him have the ball every single possession and just go off to boost his stock up, or jumping in that portal says, look, I'm going to leave, or either go to the draft too. Like, that's the other side of it. He's open to options is how I kind of view it, like as Will just said.
I feel like this is a question to you guys, since you are technically Vols fans, like when you watch this team outside of being a radio host, like do these kind of things bug you when these players, and I know he wasn't like some main player, but does it bother you at all when these types of players decide to peace out? Or is it something like, oh, this is just the day and time we live in, and you just have to accept it for what it's
that
worth?
For me.
Doesn't bother me at all.
Not anymore. I used to be like, why are you trying? Nope, don't bother me at all. His position is very unique. This is supposed to be a lottery pick.
Sure.
It's supposed to be a first rounder at the latest. You know what I'm saying? So I get his understanding that if he jumps in the portal, go to another, it just didn't work for me.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was. I saw somebody say, Lord, please don't go to Auburn. And Bruce Pearl will let a guy like him take off.
Oh, he was committed to LSU before Will Wade got let go.
Okay.
But we've been talking to Slay for months about, hey, is Julian still good enough to go to the NBA? Hey, is he still going to be an NBA guy? Slay's always said yes.
He has.
Through the whole answer. We asked him the week after, or the week before the season ended, during the tournament. Said, hey, he's not getting a lot of playing time. Is Julian Phillips still good enough to be a draft pick? And Slay has told us his tools and his length as a willing defender. I don't want to put words in Slay's mouth, but paraphrasing, I believe that's what he's always said through the whole process.
And that P word of what he possesses, potential.
Right, exactly.
Yep.
So right now you don't know yet if he's going to do the transfer portal or maybe just...
My guess would be he goes pro.
Okay.
I would guess pro, too. I think
him and Olivier Comwa both end up going pro. They're just keeping other options open to see who else would make a big enough offer to keep him.
Sure.
I agree
as they
that.
should.
And nowadays, too, you get the idea of making more money in NIL if he goes someplace that really wants him.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. It's a thing.
Coming up next, Teresa Walker of the Associated Press will join us. What she is most interested to see in the new Titans schedule and the biggest area where finishing second in the division helps you. In her eyes, how big of a difference does it make that Jacksonville's got to play Kansas City and has to play division champions? Titans don't. We'll talk with Teresa about that and much more coming up next as Ramon, Kayla, and Will continues here in Hour 4 on 104.5 The Zone. It's about Kayla and Will, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors here on 104.5 The Zone. Ramon Foster, Kayla Anderson, Will Bowling. Jonathan Schaefer, our producer. And joining us on the Mark Spain Real Estate Hotline this morning, talking Titans, is the one and only Teresa Walker. Good morning, Teresa. How are you?
I am good and love the music choice, Shafe. That is just perfect.
Outstanding. That's right, he is. Teresa, what the NFL could literally convince us to watch paint dry. I mean, could you ever imagine the NFL schedule release would be as big of an event as it is?
Well, it's big for those of us in the industry because let's be honest, we literally, it affects our lives. For the fans, it affects their lives because for those, who are planning to go to London, now they know they can start, they can ask off for work. They can, because the Titans have been selling packages. And for the rest of us, for me, I used to would write a separate story on it, but now we do just one massive schedule story. So for me, it's see it and write it in my planner. And the biggest exciting thing for me, guys, is besides seeing, how many they get at home, last year was a tough start. They played, 2 games out of the first 5 at home. And and then they had the strong finish at home, which, didn't really help. But for me, it's more about finding out which weekend am I going to a mountain cabin and escaping than pretty much anything else. So, the NFL has turned this, and think about it. They've been leaking this out. They used to announce international games around the owners' meetings in March, and they'd start dribbling things out, and the schedule would come out before the draft in middle of April. But now they've pushed it into the middle of May. I'm just grateful they're not waiting till next week at this point, that it's just, it's May 11th, and it almost feels early now because it's like, please just tell me what I'm doing this fall so I can plan.
And Teresa, the plan for the Titans has got to be handling those home games better than they did a season ago when they were just 3-5 at home and didn't score more than 24 points at Nissan Stadium all season long. That's kind of the thing I'm looking for personally, is just what the home schedule looks like and how attainable a goal is to go above 500 at home. What are you most interested to see as the schedule comes out tonight?
Well, I am curious to see. You're absolutely right. There's a reason why they used all 6 of their draft picks on offense, right? Trying to boost and fix the offense. And, that's where so much of their off-season, free agency attention seemed to go to with Andre Dillard, Daniel Brunskill, Chris Moore. But, spreading them out, it does make a difference if you're not home for very long in that first month of the season, to get some momentum. But but finishing, they had the opportunity. December was loaded with home games. They couldn't take advantage of it. So the way the schedule is sprinkled out, we know they're going to London in October. Is the bye week right after that to give them that chance, or do they get stuck on a Thursday night game and right after a Sunday game, a Sunday night game? How are things spread out? And absolutely, they've got to be better at home. That under Mike Vrabel, home field advantage had been a home field advantage, even when maybe all the seats weren't filled up. They've got to earn that back, and the best way to do that is by scoring more points at home. And God, they can do better, home or away. That's an area that they've got to get better at, because overall, only 4 teams scored fewer points per game than the Tennessee Titans did all season long.
Teresa, so to that, we have an open bet right now with a gift card on the line from 8 to Roast about who's going to guess the amount of primetime games. Do you look at this team and say you deserve more because the outlook could be a little bit better than losing 7 straight? Or do you kind of fall into the box of BTS fans, battered Titans syndrome fans that say, you know what, we'll get one and that'll be our customary Thursday night?
Well, if I were to guess, I'm going to think that maybe they get 2. And that's just based on history. Last year, what was it? They had 4. And they were, and it feels like, with the way they finished, that they're in position for that to be cut back. But the NFL is giving more flexibility this year, so for more flex games, so they'll have that chance. But if I were a betting woman, I'm going to go with 2 at this point.
Okay.
And that might be being kind, but battered Titan syndrome, that I can see being a big issue because you listen to people and it's like, Moan, it feels like they're ready to just forget the season, do not pass go, do not collect $200, just give me a top 5 draft pick and go on to 2024. And it's like, excuse me, I mean, the last 2 years, did we see how beat up this team was? Did we see the changes they made in the front office, the coaching staff? I mean, it's like people are ready to write off Ryan Tannehill and go straight to the Will Levis era, and it's like, God love the quarterback you haven't seen in an NFL uniform yet, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the other portion of it too. Will and Kayla asked me earlier, did I look at the schedule breakdown and the opponents and where they landed? I look at this roster, the schedule this year, and I say it's a very attainable, way above 500 type of season for them, right? And that's where I kind of struggle a little bit when it comes into that conversation of, hey, do we tank for quarterback X next year, a player? Marvin Harrison Jr. next year type of conversation. You've been around Vrabel so much that he respects you, Teresa, where your conversation with him, tanking, losing on purpose, making abrupt changes, is that even in his wheelhouse to allow himself to be into the depths of just saying, we'll plan for next year?
Well, let's put it this way, Ramon, and you know this personally. Is there a single player who takes and puts a uniform on and steps on an NFL field ever thinking about, I'm going to go out here and blow this one? No. And from Mike Vrabel, Rand Carthon on down, jobs are on the line in the NFL. So this is a fan concept, okay? And the Chicago Blackhawks.
Preach.
Excuse me. Yeah. Oh, man, talk about tanking. That's the thing. In the NFL, John Robinson lost his job. Why in December? Because his rosters for 2 straight seasons were just beat all to pieces. He was bringing in guys that could not stay healthy, and guys who were coming off of injuries cost him his job. So if that's not a fresh reminder to everybody in that building, and new offensive coordinator, new passing game coordinator, Tony Goose is coaching tight ends, not Derrick Henry this year. There's a fresh message sent that no, guys, you are paid to win games in this league. So forget that. And guys, it's the AFC South. So what that Indianapolis has Anthony Richardson and Bryce Young is now down or whatever his name is down in C.J. Stroud.
C.J. Stroud,
Carolina.
I can keep Ohio State and Alabama straight, but when it comes to the quarterback names, even though I watched him play against Tennessee, I still have a hard time keeping them straight. They're rookie quarterbacks, and they picked in the first 5 picks because they were bad last year. They both have new coaches, and so we're just assuming they're going to be that much better. The Tennessee Titans were 3 minutes away from winning a 3rd straight division title and being in the playoffs, okay? I think people forget that. As bad as last season was with injuries, with the 7-game skid to end the season. So, yes, it's the NFL. They are this close to, and so, yes, I do see them being competitive. I see them having a chance to win the AFC South because it is the AFC South. Are you buying into Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars so much that you're going to put them automatically into the number 1 slot again? I'm not. There's a reason they play the games, to use that cliche.
And Teresa, that's where I was going to go next with you is the idea that, look, you don't become a Hall of Famer like yourself. Okay, I just got to go ahead and toot your horn real quick, all right, without seeing and knowing certain things the way they transpire, right? So losing in this league for a head coach, even if you just won Coach of the Year a couple of years ago, your job is still on the line with performance and readying your team, correct? And again, driving home that point, that ain't in Vrabel's wheelhouse.
Exactly, and thank you, Ramon, my brother. But let's not forget, John Robinson and Mike Vrabel got extensions a year ago, okay?
Yeah.
And it didn't help John Robinson stay in his job when his team that he put together, led the NFL and most players use for a second straight season. At a certain point, you can only make so much chicken salad, lemonade, whatever cliche you want to use. The guy who was buying the groceries got fired. And, Mike Vrabel was the guy trying to make something out of that. And, let's not forget, they were the AFC's number one seed the first year when they set an NFL record using 91 different players. And guys who were coming in on a Wednesday, starting on a Sunday, they found a way to win games because they had Ryan Tannehill. And this last season, they didn't have Ryan Tannehill for that final stretch run. And, they did what they could. And, they didn't have A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
So now they're going to need Traylon Burks, Chigga to make big jumps with their first full off season here in Nashville. And they're going to have – I'm really curious Saturday to take a look at Colton Dow in person. But 6'3", 440, I like the sound of that. I think they can make something with that. Kyle Phillips will be available. So, yeah, the pressure is on Mike Vrabel. And if this team is healthier, they should be better just from that alone.
I thought that's interesting. You just brought up Colton Dow because headed into Titans rookie mini camp, which I hope to see you on Saturday, Teresa, and I know I probably will. You mentioned Dow. I put a poll up to say if you had to buy one jersey now out of the rookie class, who would it be? I got overwhelmingly a lot of number 14s. Probably rooting for the local guy to not only make the team, but to be a part of this wide receiver group. I mean, realistically, how much of a chance does he have to be a starter this year?
Well, he may not be a starter this year because they did bring in Chris Moore, Caleb, but I'm with you. I mean, like Rand Carthon told us the final night of the draft, when they had him in here for their local pro day against guys from Power 5 programs, you couldn't tell that he was from the OVC, played at UT Martin, okay? Tennessee Vol fans, yes, I saw the tweets, this, that, who was missing, yada, yada. He still caught 7 passes for 112 yards against an SEC defense, okay? And 6'3", 4'4". Those are qualities that are rare to find. Now, Racey McMath, yes, he's a big guy, supposed to have speed. Sometimes putting the hands together with that combination can be a challenge for guys. This is Racey McMath's year to prove it or else, because guess what, Racey? Colton Dow is coming for your job if you don't. So, there is playing time available in that wide receiver core. Why? Well, because of what they did not do. I mean, Colton Dow was the only player that they took in the draft at wide receiver. Chris Moore is one of the free agent signings. They may bring in another guy or two before camp, but opportunity is there. The only people I'm writing into the starting lineup with a pen right now is Traylon Burks and Chigga, and the rest to be decided.
Sure.
Go earn it, baby.
So we have to talk about Will Levis because we're going to see him on the field as well. But you can't really take a lot from one day of practice with us being out there. But realistically, when you look at him and what you're going to take out of him, even talking to him to on Saturday, Teresa, what are you looking for from that guy to say, okay, he's mature, he's ready to battle for a position eventually, even if it's not this year?
Well, I want to see him making passes. I want to see him completing balls because it's not easy in rookie minicamp.
No.
A year ago, everyone was excited about Malik Willis, and maybe it's the excitement of being there on an NFL practice field. But you're working with guys who you've been around for maybe 36 hours at that point. Can he complete passes? Is the ball near the receiver? How close are those throws? I want to see the strength in the throws. I want to see I want to see some control and strength combined. There may be a ball that goes over somebody's head, but there's a big difference between, you can tell, even on a rookie minicamp, is that on the quarterback or is that on the receiver? So I want to see if he is in the zip code with those throws. Malik Willis, he skied some balls last year. And, eventually got that dialed back in. But, it gives an indication of, okay, this guy's got a lot of room to grow,
Sure.
or this is a guy who, he looks like an NFL quarterback. When he walks in the building, you can tell, and it may not. And that's the thing. I saw the reports yesterday on social media that Ryan Tannehill is going to be the starter week 1. Well, didn't Mike Vrabel tell us that a week ago? So for me right now, the whole competition is for number 2, who's backing up Ryan Tannehill, and then we'll see if it's Will Levis or Malik, Willis. Who can they improve enough this off season and training camp to push Ryan Tannehill once the season starts, or, most importantly, be ready to start and win games should something happen to Ryan Tannehill again.
Teresa Walker, our guest this morning on Ramon, Kayla, and Will. At Teresa M. Walker is where you can find her on Twitter. Teresa, thank you as always.
Thank you.
Thanks, T.
My pleasure. Take care and see you on Saturday, Kayla.
Awesome.
Love it. Coming up next, there is one game that is going to be a replay for a second straight year of a bad Thursday night game a year ago. For some reason, the NFL decided to run it back in 2023. We'll tell you which game that is coming up next on Ramon, Kayla, and Will.
What?
The next time we talk to you, we will know the entire Titans schedule, and no, we will not go week by week and say win, loss, win, loss, win. We will just we'll say loss, loss. I'm just kidding. We will not do these things.
Yeah. We will analyze the schedule for sure.
Of course, we'll analyze it. We'll break down the most difficult stretch, the most winnable stretch, the bye week, which I would imagine is going to be week 7. For the second straight year on purpose, the NFL, according to a report from J.P. Finley of NBC Sports Washington, we're going to have Thursday night football between the Bears and the Commanders for the second straight season. Week 5.
You know, in the 80s, if that would have been the Bears and the team formerly known as you know what, that would have been fantastic.
Yeah.
But,
last season, this game ended by a final score of 12-7.
That's what I thought.
Hold up. Brad Hopkins is going to chime in for a second.
Yeah. Oh, was that Brad? I never knew
Brad.
that.
That was Brad.
Saw him
That's
on
funny.
Tuesday.
Yeah, we did.
I'm actually gonna watch because I got Darnell is there.
Sicko's committee.
Sure.
That's what you are. You're a sicko.
For Darnell, I'm a sicko.
You're a sicko.
okay.
I'm a sicko for that one. By the way, the team you said formerly known as the Commanders.
Well,
it was funny.
Formerly known as the Washington football team and now known as the Commanders.
But the name before that, the original, when they had the Hogs, Buck was being real PC with it like last week or earlier this week. He was like, yeah, that was I think he called it like a racial slur of a name that it was that was just recognized as. And he had a caller call in. It was like, yeah, I've been a fan of the Washington Reds. I was like, oh, really?
Yeah.
Buck, just clean that up. Why would you
And then
come
he came back,
And then he came on
this
and said
on
it.
here, Buck. That happened on Buck's show.
Yeah, it happened. I mean, the name is what it is. Dude was just like, I'm a fan, and and I think he was just trying to double down. I was like, bro, Buck.
And then Buck responded by saying, "Your mom."
Yeah,
Wait a
did.
minute, Bert. Is that what happened? You're here. I mean, is that how it went down?
You have a drop of him saying your mom.
I do. Your mom. Yeah.
Where did that even come from?
Hey, you know what? You know those times when I get in trouble and get pulled into the office? I'm not always in trouble. In fact, I get stuff like your mom sent to me.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm going to steal that.
That's fine.
But
Great.
today, what you can expect on the Buck Rising Show is a whole lot of just me by myself.
That's right, because where are they at today?
They are in Mount Juliet on a lovely golf course being hung around by Kirby.
I thought you were going to say being hungover. I thought that's what you were going to say.
No, I think they all went to bed on time.
Pre-gaming the schedule.
That'd be fun. I'd be down to pre-game just about anything.
The day he was late on our show because he was out a little bit late from the combine?
Good times.
By the way, Bert, I heard your dumbest thing in sports yesterday, man. How's your heart feeling, man?
What was it?
Remind
him
me
being
again?
a fan of the Ravens. And,
That's right.
They're not actually going to play here. They're playing in London.
That's right, because they're going to be in London.
Everybody hurts.
How do you have this? This is
Because he's the best producer in the world.
Greg, you want to know how?
World.
Best producer in the world.
this is how I feel.
Yeah.
I know, Bert. I felt for you, man. I'm gonna be real, dog.
Well, Robert, when both the Ravens and the Titans win their division this year, we can play in Nashville next year.
Oh, sorry,
Uh-oh.
Let's go. I don't know who
The
has
plush
a
toy.
That's a
The
full
plush
water
toy.
bottle.
I don't know who has a
Throw-
larger mountain to climb.
Throw a plush toy at him.
Yeah, throw a plush toy. You got the rugby ball over there.
Don't throw things at me.
I wouldn't throw.
They're soft.
See, now I got to figure out what game I'm going to go to, Mon. So if you want to, I'm down. You ain't even got to come to Baltimore.
Yeah.
I'm down to go to Pittsburgh.
Hey, come
I'm
to
down
Pittsburgh.
to walk into the enemy's nest and let them ring them terrible butt wipers they got out there. I'm down for that.
Hey, Chef, you got a bucket back there?
Actually, you know what I do have?
Yeah, what?
A
Terrible towel.
You got a towel.
Just knew that was
Do you want me
coming.
to go get it?
Knew that was
Because
coming.
hey,
I won't step
do you
on
wanna
it, I promise.
Do you want to blow up the internet?
Yeah, no.
Stop it.
Let him live. Let him be a man.
Jonathan Schaefer's going to go get his terrible towel.
Yes, he is.
And by terrible, I don't mean the Pittsburgh towel. I just mean it's a terrible towel. It's a terrible team to support.
I agree with that.
I have to at least have sympathy towards them now with the 11-year NFL veteran in the room.
No,
but-
don't. No, hate him. I'm
Okay,
here for
well,
that,
then I hate
man.
him.
Absolutely. Don't change your perspective for me.
Let me
I
tell you.
don't hate them as much as I hate the Ravens.
They
but-
come out and they win the draft, and then they pick up dudes like Allen Robinson. I hope he is a crusty, dusty graham cracker of
Booger
his
eater.
former self, man.
You know what? Be better than any receiver the Ravens got.
Hey, listen, man. They want to talk
There's Jonathan Schaefer. He's waving his terrible towel
Boo that
There it
terrible
is.
town. That is one terrible
Just,
town.
I'm hoping that Bert did not use that.
You don't let me know where that thing's hid at.
What do y'all even have, man? A raven? You can't even contain those things.
Well, they have the
man.
raven heads, which are kind of cool.
Some
They are
chicken
cool.
drums
Those
out
things
of
are
that.
nice.
What? They got a raven hat?
Yeah, you can wear like the head
that's
of a
cute.
raven.
That's cute.
I'm not going to lie, though. The way the Ravens were nicknamed is
I'm
one
out
of
of
the
breath.
coolest ways to nickname a team in the NFL.
Robert?
That too.
Dang it, Caleb.
Because of Edgar Allan Poe.
For quote the Raven.
Hey, no, I didn't
I'm
know
a
Caleb.
Poehead.
I didn't know Caleb was going to dig at me today. Didn't y'all lose Dennis Rodman's son?
Yeah.
Didn't he
Oh, actually, you know what?
Here's your Washington
Thank
State
you,
minute
Bert.
on Ramon,
Thank
Kale,
you.
and Will.
I did go off on that on the break.
He didn't want to play for y'all no more. He said, bye, Coop.
And that's been Kook Talk on
Go down,
104.5 The
go
Zone.
down to the University of Spoiled Children. Do it.
Schaefer immediately starts playing the music. That's our time this morning. The NFL schedule will be out by the next time we talk to you. At the Buck Rising Show, we'll have the latest leaks, releases, all these good things as they broadcast live from Pine Creek Golf Course in Mount Juliet. We're back at it on a Friday.